Hello and welcome to the Something Wicked Studios post E3 show. I'm Charlie, aka Mordak, joined by Dr. Jim, aka just normal Jim of Metal Geared fame.
Hey guys.
Alex, aka Heinous Maeve, aka Maeve Online, aka the Party Bus Incarnate.
Mr.
AKA
Romper himself.
Party Rock in the house tonight, even.
Yep.
And
Bumper,
in
the
his
stomper,
magical
the
box,
man,
we have
and the
Jim.
romper.
What's that?
The bumper, the stomper, he's the man and the romper.
There you go.
Yep. So, gentlemen, I'm sorry. Every time I look at you, I'm reminded of the fact that E3 this year was kind of weird. So, using that as a segue, let's talk about E3 2017. I was not physically there, but you were.
Yes, I was, Charlie.
Give me tales of E3 2017, because I've heard it was a bit of a year, if you will.
Yes, you can call it a year. You can call it many things. Year is a nice way to put it. So, obviously the big thing this year is that they did announce E3 for the public as far as having tickets available for them. So, they did sell, in fact, quite a few. I forgot how many. Was there, like 15,000?
I think it was like 15,000.
15,000 public, tickets. So, one of the things this year was obviously they were there, the public, So, badges are marked so people know, like, oh, that's an exhibitor badge, or, oh, hey, that's a sponsor badge, or, some VIP. And they come in
Homeless
plastic.
person, etc.
Yeah, et cetera, et cetera. So they come in plastic, clear.
For the record, they've always kind of done this.
Yeah.
There's always been a delineation of attendees of E3. It's not a new.
No.
thing.
That's always there, but you know who's who. But they really marked who the consumers are, who the public is. They stood out. It was pretty bad because their badge holders were piss yellow. It wasn't even funny. It was pretty bad.
I heard you could be spotted in a crowd, except
so
you were the crowd.
was
You
it
all
like-
blended in.
yeah,
Was
it was
like
it was
healthy
hard.
piss yellow,
piss yellow
or a night of
badges.
Corona
Yeah,
Light
mobs-
piss yellow?
Yeah, mobs of piss yellow badges and just piranha-like behavior for certain things. So one of the things that caught my eye because I was working a booth there this year. There was an area where they were giving out these really cool bags, and every day was a different kind of bag, kind
What
of like they do at
booth were you
Comic-Con.
working, Alex? What booth were you working, Alex?
Oh, I was working the Extra Life booth.
Hey,
Hey,
they're good people.
there we go. Segue, Extra Life. But yeah. So one of the things that we saw was they had these little stands where they have normally they would say this is what's going on for the day or whatever publications, but they would put bags there and people would run over like piranhas with meat dipped into the tank, just ran in, grabbed a bunch of bags, not even hey, one per person. They're like, oh, I'm gonna grab 15 of these fuckers and just leave. It was pretty bad.
So I think we've talked about kind of my perspective on what I've always liked about E3 was it had a certain level of exclusivity to it. You couldn't just get in. And if you follow the podcast, you've heard me for weeks going, this year's gonna fucking suck because people get in and people are the worst. And if you go, don't be a fucking swag whore. This is why you don't be a fucking swag whore.
And that's the other thing. That was the most swag you could probably find because a lot of booths were not
They've
giving
toned
stuff
it down.
out.
Yeah, I went the last 2 years and finding stuff that was free to grab was few and far between, and I kind of dug it because it was like, hey, I'm here for the thing. Oh, we have these pins. I don't care.
Yeah.
So overall, would you say that the experiment in opening up to the public was a success or a failure?
I would say
I'm
it's
making a
success
note
in
here.
terms... Oh, sorry, Jeff, go ahead.
So I'm making a note here. Huge success.
So, I would say in terms of money, I'm sure E3 is very happy with
They
what
sold
they
at $200
sold.
a ticket, yeah.
Yeah, so they're happy there. That was a success. The
Metallica
failure,
can't
I
even
think,
pull
was
that
in
one.
the effect it had with the actual con. And it's not to be
It's not a con, first off.
Well,
it's an
well,
expo.
convention. It's
Yes.
a convention expo, whatever you want to call it. You know
No,
what
there
I'm
is a
referring to.
difference. Expo implies professionalism.
Okay.
PAX is a convention. E3 is the Electronic Entertainment Expo.
Okay, fair. So it did have a big impact as far as the atmosphere of the expo. There was way less swag this year. I can honestly tell you the amount of swag I have, I can fit into my backpack for all 3 days. I got a couple bags that were relatively small. These Twitch glasses, and Twitch was giving away bags, and they were never seen again after like day 2, I think.
Yeah.
So
We're getting the fuck out of here.
yeah, like,
I'm
that
doing
was
my
it.
Christmas shopping at E3. Oh, you're gonna buy stuff? No, I'm taking shit.
Yeah, and so like it was just like they cut down on tons of the swag and giveaways.
No, it hasn't
Not even
been there.
buttons. Not
It's-
even buttons.
It hasn't been there. They've been leaning that stuff out over the last couple years. Like that wasn't there last year or the year before that.
2 years ago, I still got plenty of swag for it still being like E3 Expo closed
I
off
guess,
industries,
but they've been intentionally walking it back, and I think the issue is a lot of people were expecting like PAX, where it's like, hey, take this bribe and advertise for us now.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like it has the Disney effect or the Disneyland effect, where you can go there and if you want to play something, you need to crop out at least like a couple hours of your day just to try it for a little bit. So between
need to
that,
commit to
like,
the
okay,
idea.
case in point, Destiny 2. I tried to go to do Destiny 2 for
You
a little
damn
bit,
fool.
and first of all, the wait just to even line up was
The wait in line, if
yeah,
you will.
was 3.5 hours
Wow.
just to demo it. Now here's the other thing.
Jesus Christ on a 2x4.
Yeah.
They did also have this thing called the PlayStation Experience app, which was cool because you would be able to reserve a spot, much like the hey, come back later system from Disneyland. But if you look at the time slots only had like, okay, between this 30 minutes, 18 slots available for the entire time. So
Keep in mind, this is a convention of 15,000 people.
And this is where Charlie.
Plus-
public plus
Public
industry.
Plus industry.
So good fucking luck.
Oh,
is
so
pretty
and
much.
well, this is where it gets great. I was reserving spots in the PlayStation things
You
on the app.
dick.
You son of a bitch.
I hate you. Because
When you
You're
don't
an
show up, they
asshole.
give them away.
give a little
But I was grabbing them
perspective-
because I could.
it was yeah. they
There's
were
18
way
slots
but, like, it
available
was
per
bad.
half hour. That means there's 36 slots available per hour times 12 hours means they can only let in 432 people out
Yeah.
of 15,000.
Yeah.
Oh no! Every night I was popping open the app just to see how fast they went. I'd
Yeah.
give them up half the time, but I was seeing if I could get in there.
Which is 0.028%.
Yeah, so it was pretty much impossible to try to reserve on that, and PlayStation was doing that for all their stuff. This monitor is flickering, by the way.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, also, one thing I'm
um,
going to throw in just now, I apologize up front. One of the things that I apologize for this last year, but I apologize again this year is because I'm on the Skype delay. The normal part where you would like insert yourself in a conversation and not interrupt your friends rudely, I completely miss because I'm a tenth of a second behind. So if I interject rudely,
Ah,
it's
the
because it's
joy
my
of
only
this.
option.
No, you're just rude, Jeff.
Also a
hiding
known
behind
fact.
technical excuses.
I just assume it's the East Coast way of doing
Oh
it.
yeah,
Right?
I'm gonna go all New
How you guys
Jersey
do
on
out
you,
east.
kid.
Yeah, that's just
You want to see
Bostonian
some?
mannerism?
Was it?
Yep.
Hey kid, you want to see some gloss on your ass? We can go that route.
the fuck you looking at? Don't make me fuck your mom.
I've been working these dogs for 40 fucking
language
years,
are
and
they
I ain't gonna be
speaking?
told
What
do they
told around by
say?
some
Weird.
piece
Oh,
of little
that's
shit like you in a unicorn outfit and your hoity-toity glasses. Let's see you last 2 minutes in fucking Charlestown, kid.
I think that was a colloquial
You
greeting.
look
I'm not sure.
swag-tabulous, by the way.
Kind of was actually,
Exotic language.
Yeah,
It's like chalk on the
but E3,
nails on a chalkboard.
E3, the reason we're here.
yeah, but I think overall, as far as like, honest opinion,
Love you, Alex.
as far as public being there, I don't think they're gonna do that next year unless they really want the money. And obviously that's a big thing. I know you laugh.
You can tell that it was a very mixed decision because in some ways they want the money, so they have 15,000 tickets, but they're definitely not making it welcoming to.
So the trick is they
public.
started
Yeah,
increasing
no,
the
it
money
was-
on industry and just started
They're-
twisting
they
them
must
like,
have had a lot
give
of
us more
debate.
money for tickets or we'll start giving them to the public.
So, the explanation I heard basically was like, wait times last year were pretty bad.
And that was just industry alone.
Yeah, and it was last year was low attendance, and the issue was they did nothing to accommodate for the larger crowd they had this year. And so let me be blunt for a second. You have certain expectations when you buy your way into something like this. Like you're expecting PAX, you're expecting a better time than maybe necessarily you're actually going to get out of this because, well, this isn't meant to cater towards fans. They didn't change it into a fan event all of a sudden. It's still not, even compared to the Destiny event, that's for, in some ways, fans of Destiny. Like that was a couple weeks ago. This is a thing where it's mostly people running around getting interviews, trying to get stuff for websites. so they can get the scoop or get video out there and stuff
I mean,
like
it's
that.
a gigantic press conference with press conferences in it, and I mean that's really what it is.
But it's not press conferences. The press conferences aren't part of E3.
Well, I mean, it's a big media event for the industry.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
one of these things where it's like, even if you buy a ticket, you don't have access to the press conferences. Those are a whole separate event. They're not held at the event
Yeah.
itself. And I think where a lot of people had a bit of a problem is they thought they knew how E3 worked. Now, they show these press conferences, like, it's the same media people. They have these hubs. It's all obviously in the same location. And the answer is no.
Nope.
Those things are, like, in some cases on opposite sides of town from each other. And, yeah, like, it's...
Yeah, there was one like the what was it? Wasn't Bethesda? No, Bethesda was saying it was like in this ballroom.
They're all in ballrooms.
No, but like an old style like.
They're all in actual theaters.
It
Like,
wasn't in the LA Convention Center.
none of
Yeah.
them were in the LA
Yeah.
Convention
No,
Center.
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Like maybe Sony was in LA Live or something. But
Something like that.
That's where I was. Okay.
But I
that
think
was
Bethesda
familiar.
was over at the Orpheum or some sort of
yeah,
weird theater. around
EA was
there.
over in Hollywood, like quite
Yeah.
literally, like between an hour and a half hour away from the convention floor. In theory, they're not really there anymore, so it doesn't matter as much. But yeah,
Yeah, no, it's. Go ahead.
Oh no. So basically, what I was just gonna mention is so they basically got people there as like fillers to make up for the low attendance. So
I think so, but it's
Cardboard
like,
cutouts.
but Charlie made a very good point. People expect PAX, but they're not realizing they're just getting a like, quote unquote industry. Well, not anything quote unquote. You're getting an industry / networking event.
it's a boat show. Like this
Yep.
is not something really strange. EA is the video game version of a boat show. Like you can wander around and look at boats, but it's not really there for you.
EA or E3.
Sorry, E3. Yeah,
Yeah.
my bad.
Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty much what it is. So like people expecting to go there and to buy stuff like they do at the cons, or like
There's no dealer's room. Well, there is, but it's behind the dumpster by some guy named Crazy Reggie who's like, hey, you want some pixels?
I got what you need. I got that
I mean,
4K.
replace
PAX
pixels
East was a
with
little
meth.
bit like, hey man, you want to buy some indie titles? $10 for a card you can activate on Steam.
I hear you like Survivor Simulator.
Hey, that is probably how I wound up with the game She Dreamt of Caterpillars, which that said is a beautiful, cute little game.
Yeah?
So it was like the back alley
Thank you,
dealer,
those
like
guys,
G2A,
10 bucks, and they
just
were
like, hey,
cool.
I got what you need, kid.
No, G2A is like some kingpin who's beating that dude for his money. He's like, where's my money, bitch? He's some guy that rolls up in like a Rolls Royce with just like spike wheels on it. It's like, oh no, G2A's here. People have been late in my payments. I had to leave my house and my beautiful family. I do not like to do this. The FBI, it follows me. Where is my money? Because it's obviously Russian.
Of course, and does that mean that's one of our favorite Russians' side gigs?
This confirmed
Nikolai
Nikolai
Tracksuit.
Nikolai Tracksuit works for G2, or he is G2A, pretty much.
that's
The guy
funny.
goes through
He
like
is
30
G2A.
titles. What are you doing?
His side gig.
Yeah.
Oh, memories.
It is legitimate business, yeah?
It is to take care of his wife, Kashka Tracksuit.
There you go. But yeah, I think
Just as good as Steam. Just as good.
All right, guys, let's get the ball rolling.
But I think
Yeah,
overall,
GOG
as far
is
as
just as good as Steam. You buy through GOG, we get your deal.
Alright, enough of this.
enough of Nikolai.
3.
E3
The
itself, but
Boston
yeah, I think,
accent, the Russian accent. We're off to a good start.
yeah. It took how many minutes before Nikolai showed up? But
Well, it's a special time of year. Nikolai always shows up. He's like Santa Claus that year. Wait. So I've been
I
told.
bring gifts. AK-47s for everybody. All right.
but yeah, overall, I think it was an interesting experiment. I'm glad they did it in a way, just so people realize like it's not what they thought it was. I actually spoke to two guys who flew out from New York to hang out for E3, and he was like, "Yeah, coming to E3 in person kind of ruined this for me." Like they were very upfront about it. They were like, "It was, it was all right," and then them realizing what traffic is like in Los Angeles doesn't help.
Yeah, that's the thing I think lots of people forget is that, like, E3 isn't Disneyland. It's not like a surrounding area. It's in a fucking convention center. And you know what's outside that convention center? Los Angeles.
Yep.
In other words, not very much parking.
Los Angeles will skull fuck you.
Well, there is parking, but it's $40 to park at the convention center
Oh yeah, I'm
Or more.
per day, isn't it? Yeah.
per day.
Per day.
Wait,
And those-
that's it? Like legit, that's it.
Yeah, he's actually right. We're used to much worse on the East Coast.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
for LA, that's
I've been to a
pretty
concert
bad. That's like
that
San
was
Francisco parking
$40 to park on the sign. I was like, geez, people are getting ripped off. And as I was walking away, I realized that the back of the sign said during games $80.
Oh
Like-
my god. This is why I'm a homebody. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Never do anything.
This was right next to
Metro.
Fenway, by the way.
I actually took the Metro into the convention center on day 2. Was not as bad, but I was wearing this outfit, and the looks I got were miraculous. Because I go through the hood to go home, so...
And ain't nobody want to fuck with the guy dressed like a unicorn. I mean,
no,
how
no,
many of those are you going to see in
Extra
one
line,
lifetime?
extra line.
But yeah, so...
So before we kind of move on to actually talking about E3 and not E3 as a nebulous topic, you've been to, this is not your first E3.
Not my first rodeo, sir.
What number E3 was this for you?
I think this is the number 5 or 6.
What do you think this would feel like if this was your first E3?
Disheartening, because I know what
Disappointment.
my other ones were like.
Yeah.
So...
So if you're thinking about maybe going next year, maybe wait for a couple of years or see if they fix shit, because like every single piece of press I heard that came out of it talking about the overall experience of E3 was like, man, shit is fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think...
People go in enthusiastic and they come out like,
Me.
yeah.
Yeah. So, people walk out of there feeling like the same feeling that you had watching the Bethesda show. So,
All right, so actually E3, the stuff that was revealed and all that jazz. Before we get into it, did it feel like there wasn't a lot of news after the press conference? Like normally there's a slow trickle of other stuff that comes out over time. Like this year, kind of there was this hard line of if it wasn't in those press conferences, nothing else came out. A couple little things dropped here and there.
I mean,
but-
nothing like big, but I mean, my news on Google, I don't know how they figure it out, but like, it was just like all filled with E3 stuff. But
Yeah.
there was nothing there that was like mind-blowing.
Yeah, there's always a couple like surprise reveals
Yeah.
on like Wednesday or Thursday where it's like, haha, here's why you stayed.
I take it back, there are a few things that are mind-blowing, but not like,
the,
whoa.
yeah, there were a few things that were like, oh, okay, but after that, I was like, oh, like the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer that came out just for out of nowhere.
And then no one mentioned anything about Kingdom Hearts.
And then that was it. There was no more. They didn't even have anything there for Kingdom
wasn't
Hearts.
even at a press conference. It
Yeah.
was attached
I
to
feel like that happens a lot at E3. Is like we're still waiting to hear about what the Final Fantasy VII remake for PS4.
It doesn't exist. It's pretty
Yeah, I
simple.
know. It's like there was like a big thing, and
Yeah, so between that and then revealing some of the mechanics for Super Mario Odyssey, that was like, I guess, the big, like, oh gosh, and then of course some of the Pokemon stuff, but we'll get into that when we talk
We'll
about...
get to it, yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess we'll go chronologically. EA had a pretty solid press conference in my book. Nothing super surprising from them. I guess we'll talk about Anthem when we get to Microsoft because that's where it actually was shown off. But, you know, like, for the first time ever, I didn't cringe horribly during an EA press conference. Like, it was very EA. There was no surprises. Battlefront looked, well, like the Battlefront we should have gotten last time around and not the version we got.
The
Like,
demo? The full demo we got?
yeah, this kind of felt like a year of like, hey, here's the actual game we meant to make.
And now it's got single player, it looks like.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a campaign built into the
I should
Battlefront
probably
2.
also preface, I watched highlights of all of the, because, and it still took like 3 hours. I watched highlights of all the press conferences with all the, like, people shooting the shit and whatnot.
Oh yeah, that stuff before that stuff beforehand's pretty bad. That's gotten worse every year. And yes, I know you accidentally watched all of it for Sony last year, but I don't. I get vamping, but this year was like, hey, we're gonna start our stream an hour and a fucking half before the actual press conference, and we're gonna pay some people that obviously don't know anything about video games to talk about.
They must be trying to, like, model after the Super Bowl or something, and, like, this needs to start at 8 a.m. for a noon event.
We're here
we're
at
just-
E3 to talk about video games.
Yeah,
What
except
do
for
you
it just
think's
doesn't
going
work
on?
like that.
Yeah. Like, there was a little cringe. What was that one guy, Jesse something, the YouTube creator guy?
Oh, but
His teleprompter didn't work or something
who
like that.
cares?
And that was just, like, funny because he's there for E3, like, for I guess it was the Need for Speed thing.
Okay, can we talk about the fact that Need for Speed is now Burnout, apparently? And, like, for the first time ever, I'm looking at a Need for Speed ad going, like, okay. maybe I care about this now.
I definitely agree with the Need for Speed embracing the the Gone in 60 Seconds / Fast and the Furious fast cars solve shooting problems. Like, I am really down with that idea, and them like, there must be something more to this one Koenigsegg that they've got in the back of this truck that we need to steal.
Well, I love the fact
Like,
that like they have the
drug
Burnout
running.
takedown cam now. Like they wreck that car. It does that slow pan of like pornographic car destruction. I'm sitting there going like,
Bam, bam.
yeah.
Also, it's got the world's most indestructible Ford GT ever.
Well,
Or
yeah.
Ford Mustang GT. Because any of those cars would fucking crumple for looking at each other funny.
No,
Fair.
Yeah. Fair, yeah.
Also, I don't think that Koenigsegg would have lasted blasting out of the back of that tractor trailer, but I'm getting a little too Forza in a Need for Speed game. Yeah, that game looks like fun. I want it to be some kind of drug-running, gun-toting stupidity
I
fest.
think it is. Like, I'm not sure
Yeah,
it's quite that, because that's what the previous ones have been. Like, the previous ones have been all about that crime. And
Oh, yeah.
I think they've backed away some, but I think they've put the Burnout takedown mechanics in, which means for the first time in, like, over a decade, I care about Need for Speed, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, you're wearing the Burnout outfit. My, I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah. So this is the last Need for Speed game I played was Hot Pursuit 2, and that's absolutely all about that get away from the cops.
Or
That is
you-
the game.
Or you are the cops.
Or you are the
Yeah.
cop and chase down your fucking friends.
Yep.
Be that narc.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Need for Speed looked good. What other stuff did EA premiere? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but
They put out a Way Out, which I think looks like a neat game, but it doesn't look like a $60 neat game. The 2-player co-op game that's completely split. It's like they put 2 stories together in one that actually matter,
okay.
and you have to
Yeah,
escape prison.
The more I've looked at that, the more it's grown on me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still not sold on it, but at the same time, the more times I watched that trailer, the more I was like, okay, maybe this could actually be kind of cool.
Yeah. I think it's neat. I just don't know if it's $60 neat.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one. I was not sold on it, but the idea of, hey, I like the idea of a game designed around co-op. The fact they're like, you can only play this co-op, that was a little less appealing maybe, but the idea of it's like, no, this is meant to be played, like it's really meant to be played with another person on your couch, which, as someone who runs a YouTube channel, maybe that's a good thing for me, but... yeah, I like the idea of what they're going for. Maybe not the execution exactly, but yeah.
I mean, it's also a lot of it, unfortunately, is going to hinge on as well that their storyline needs to be good because they're definitely trying to sell the be invested in these characters. They have shit going on the outside that you need to care about. And,
Oh no, keep going.
and depending on how interesting that is going to very much impact what that game's received. Where if it like turns out like I need to get out the outside, I have a family. Okay, we went to the hospital, saw them once, and then they're out of the storyline. Thanks for playing. Like if they do something like that, no one's it's going to unattract people to the game. Whereas these characters are supposed to it looks like they're supposed to start not knowing each other and then learn how to work together and like have conflict and overcome it. And if the conflict is stupid, people are gonna dislike it.
Yeah. No, it's... They
You
didn't really
stole my
show...
bar of soap that one time.
Yeah, and I guess like the reaction I had was, I've already played the Prison Break video game. How is this going to be different? It could be cool. I'm not... They didn't do much to sell me on what was cool about it aside for, hey, it's got co-op. What else? It's got co-op. What else? Co-op.
But did we mention co-op?
Yeah.
I did like when the guy jumped in the hole where they're like, I can't see the bottom. Whatever, I'll go first. Toof! Oh, it's way farther than I thought it was.
Yeah.
It's almost like jumping into holes you can't see the bottom floor to is a bad decision.
Yeah.
Good source of pain.
Have you not seen what happens to Super Mario when he jumps down holes that he can't see through? It's just,
He winds up in some very fun places.
yeah, come on.
Meta.
Yeah.
So anything else about EA? Like, the biggest EA announcement didn't happen at the EA press conference.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. It happened at the Microsoft conference, which was great just to see it come out on there.
Let's say
So-
I could say something else about EA if we want to.
Go for it before we move on.
For a second. Is it or EA has almost seemed to like look at, hey, we got all these sports games, and people are like, yep, they're sports games, like, but they don't have storylines. Like, nope, sports games don't have that. Like, what if they all had one?
Oh God.
What if soccer was about the rise and fall of some dude, and we made a football one that was all like people sitting in the bleachers and talking to their kids and shit?
They've been doing this for a little while now.
Have they?
Yeah.
All right.
And it's fucking stupid, in my opinion.
This has been
Yeah.
around for a while.
People don't buy sports games for the. I can't believe I'm saying
The
this.
plot?
For the story.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck you. I want
I-
that deep, enriching story when I go out there and ball in a video game, which I never
Yeah.
do.
You
I
see,
want NHL 2017 so I can go pick the Bruins, set the Montreal Canadiens to the lowest intelligence setting, and dick on them. This is what I'm expecting from my sports game.
Oh no, it's just an entire season of me checking Crosby illegally.
Yeah. You turn penalties off in the game, you go up and you fucking cross-check the goalie out of the way and shoot the puck. And the
That's-
referee sits there and looks at you and goes, penalties are off, sorry, man.
That's the sports story I want.
like,
Yeah.
I can't believe that phrase. Can we just highlight what Jim just said? That like people don't buy sports games for the story. Like, in all the years of any video games ever, I would have never thought that phrase would come together. This is what happens when you sell tickets to the public. E3.
They've been
So I'll let you
doing
know that.
They did this
that's
last
what
year
this is.
too. You
I-
want
I-
that?
I
You
know,
would think
I know.
E3, which is one of the largest video game companies out there and has, people of the
This
best
is what happens
PR
when you drink
on the planet would
Listerine and
realize
let
that, like,
normal people in the E3, apparently.
be like, you know what puzzle games need? What Tetris needs? A great story.
I'm sorry, I would kill to play a Tetris story mode.
They're
The
working on
Minesweeper
that.
story.
That's a thing. Did you not know that?
No.
That's
There's a
apparently
million
a
fan
thing.
videos
Oh.
and YouTube videos for every one of
Jesus.
those
Yeah.
kind of games.
Apparently, they're also going to do a Tetris movie. I mean, fuck. We have movies about emotions
Yeah, I
and
was gonna say emojis.
emojis,
Yeah,
like-
yeah.
really.
Pac-Man movies.
The movie about
don't really
emotions is
save
actually
us.
pretty good, but I was surprised.
Truly enlightened times we live in.
Yeah.
Well, it was pretty good for the relative times we live in.
So,
Pac-Man's the best shot we've got.
all right.
so is that it for EA though?
No,
it was-
that was what I wanted to
No.
dwell on. Like,
No.
who the fuck is this Hunter kid?
Okay, well,
So that's the best part. I couldn't tell if that was the guy they had on stage last year or not.
If that's a real soccer player, and
It
I just
is,
don't
I
know,
think.
which is totally viable.
like here. Okay. I know this is not going to ever happen, but if I want to play a sports game with a story, I want to deal with stories like, oh, I had to go to court as Michael Vick because my dog ring got busted, and there's like a side quest where you're in court in a suit and you have to pretend to look like you feel bad about
Oh, okay,
shit.
so
This is
actually,
the South Park's take on
No.
Tiger Woods PGA golf.
no. So this game exists. It's called NBA 2015, I think, or something like that, or NBA Live 2015, where like it's you getting out of the ghetto and you bring in your scumbag friend along with you.
Oh, God.
And like shit goes down, and it's a Spike Lee joint.
What?
Okay.
Like, I want to play, like, PGA 2017, and one of my side quests is dealing with the fact that I got arrested as Tiger Woods this year. Like,
So the
fun
same
stuff like that.
The same year of NBA I'm talking about, EA had the brilliant thing where they showed off their new golf game by having a battleship just crash through the course. They're like, we got it. We have to show the sports stuff, but Battlefield's next.
Yeah. And, okay,
Yeah.
last little thing on that one, but I would love to see, like, if EA released a golf game where, like, the hidden character was Happy Gilmore, and he's just shooting the shit out of golf balls. Like, that would be a great release for a character.
I
He's
feel
got
like
that
we've
crazy
been there.
windup, but he can't putt for
That
shit.
starts to go into like parody sports
Yeah.
games. Yeah, that's not
It's
like.
called Hot Shot Golf.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's
there you
like
go.
I remember on the
called.
Genesis way back, like the
called actually a
Mutant
giant-
Monster
Yeah.
League or
If
whatever.
you basically want to watch like Mii's or whatever they are from the Wii games, like strip teasing on a golf flag, here's the game for you.
Tell me more.
It's called Hot Shots Golf.
Oh well,
And
we
for
could keep on
$10.99
talking.
a minute, you could buy the game in 6 minutes.
But yeah, I think that's it for E3 as far as our
EA,
comments
Anything,
on it.
it's all
yeah,
done.
EA,
We'll
yeah.
we're out of here.
That's all, folks. No.
EA was the only thing.
If you're a sports fan, that's where your conference ends. Like,
Well, so we keep saying we're gonna move on, then we don't. But like, I am starting to believe that the overlap between people that care about real sports and the people that play at this point, the EA sports games, have drifted apart to the point where like some of the stuff they keep doing to promote the sports games has me sitting there going, who is this for? Because the people that play these games competitively do not look like they actually watch the game ever anymore.
That is
So
true.
one of the notes I took here is that there needs to be a console package that sells a console, whether it be PlayStation 4, honestly the Switch, or Xbox, what have you. And it comes with a copy of Call of Duty, FIFA, and a case of Natty Ice.
No, it's a
Because
Coors
this-
Party Ball.
I actually think the Xbox, what have you, would be a better name than their current.
Yeah. Yeah. Because
The
for
Natty
whatever
Ice
reason,
edition?
FIFA is king in the like bro dude sports game pickup. It's always
They
FIFA.
did have a Dreamcast, and that was actually pretty successful
Yeah.
for Dreamcast.
Yeah, okay, so we have to move on. We're getting into
All
silly
right.
category.
yeah, thank you,
So-
EA. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, what's up? What was after that?
So next, I believe Microsoft was next, correct?
yes,
Yeah,
that sounds
Microsoft
about
was
right.
next.
Mhm.
So let's do a quick game called Names That Are Better Than the Actual Name of Their New Console.
Microsoft Whatnot, Project Scorpio,
Project Scorpio.
Xbox 2,
Xbox,
like
Xbox 1.5.
Yeah. Like,
anything. Anything.
Well, ever since Windows 10, Microsoft has had issues with counting.
Yeah, anything than
7, 8,
Xbox
10,
One
damn it!
X.
Well, so obviously the Xbox One X is the big Microsoft news. Was anyone impressed by it?
No, they tossed about a bunch of numbers that were meaningless to a gamer. They hardly talked about games. They wanted to be like Apple, and they were like talking about like these trivial aesthetic things, like this is a smaller Xbox. Whoa!
Well, to be fair, as someone who
They
owns
needed
an
more
Xbox
black
and-
turtlenecks.
As someone who owns an Xbox One is worried it's going to go through my floor one day. That thing is so big. I appreciate a smaller Xbox.
Which makes it even less impressive when you say you've made it smaller. It's just like anything is smaller. It's the size of like those old VCR players.
go the opposite direction, make
well,
a bigger Xbox.
I think
It's the Duke Xbox.
I think what happened with like Xbox was the first time they released their console, everyone gave them so much shit that it was big that they have like this size compensation issue where like, no, it's smaller this
They're
time. It's even
self-conscious.
smaller, I swear. It's smaller. Stop making fun of the size.
I want to live inside the Xbox 2 is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I want that to be a real estate deal. Sir, here's your Xbox 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It doubles up as a bludgeoning tool in the event you need it.
I want it to be an
I mean,
armored
they all
case.
do.
right? Yeah. I want to be able to use it as Captain America's shield for my cosplay.
The Nintendo Switch is a terrible home defense device.
Xbox One, it'll take a bullet.
0 for 10 unplayable.
And that's how they're going to advertise to the quote unquote urban crowd. Thanks, Xbox.
It's like the log. Looks like the
Oh, God.
commercial, just like the Xbox taking a bullet. Can your console do that?
Yeah. Will it blend? No, but it can take a fucking bullet.
It could save
Will
your
your
life.
PlayStation take a bullet?
And this is
Oh my
Xbox
God.
X Ricochet Edition, where the
Yeah.
bullets fly off of it.
Stops hollow points now.
Yeah.
The,
Although,
the Xbox Return Fire Edition.
No, that's just the Call of Duty version.
All right,
but
so
somebody, this is like just related to the name before we move on to this. Somebody had pointed out that the initials for the new Xbox One X is Hugs and Kisses.
Or Xbox.
Or
I was really
Well, no,
hoping that it would be like the
X.
Xbox
Well, you do the
Sob
XBOX.
X,
Oh,
so it would be an
yeah.
anagram.
I like Hugs and Kisses. It's a little more wholesome. Like, oh. But, yeah. Anything,
Your
Scorpio
Call of
would
Duty
do something
machine.
better.
You can put all the hugs and kisses you want on the Call of Duty machine / Resident Evil 7 machine / insert graphic gory murder boner game here.
yeah, I mean,
Well, that went somewhere.
Yeah. I took a turn for the worse right there. Like, oh,
they
God.
should have just renamed it the Xbox Anticlimactic. Like,
I think we're being a little hard. Like, it's it's aimed at 4K, which
Oh yay, because that's a common household name right now.
I do. I think their Microsoft's big push this year with throwing all the numbers out was like it's Xbox X, Xbox One X. We're kind of trying to appeal to the PC gamers. Like that's what it feels like. Like
Yeah,
they threw out
so-
so many numbers. Like we've got this many gigs and teraflops and this and
so
that.
they managed to successfully reveal that thing in the worst way possible. Like it was like, look at all these numbers, and I'm sitting there going like, I know what these numbers mean, and who cares? Like these were already out there, and like on top of that, like Forza is a important racing game that people love.
It's a sport.
If you don't care about racing games, who cares? Like, look how good this game looks, and I'm like,
yeah.
you know, it'd be cool seeing like Halo on the Scorpio.
You know what we did get to see though? Motherfucking Minecraft in 4K.
Oh god.
That
yeah.
sentence, I don't know what it means still. I saw
This
thing
box
or-
looks still like a box in 4K.
I think the reason that Forza gets used as like the like gold standard for graphics is because the things in Forza are something I can go out and just see.
Yeah, they're pretty.
Like, yeah, well, or yes. But I mean, it's like if you want to go and see a Koenigsegg or a Porsche or a BMW, I can walk down the road. Or I won't find a Koenigsegg, but you can see these things in real life, and I can juxtapose my life with what the game looks
Yeah.
like and say this is a good representation of the real world. I am not likely to run into an AR-14 tomorrow and say, hey, the new Call of Duty game looks beautiful because they got all the little nicks and imperfections of it.
yeah,
No,
I
I
guess.
think
like,
that's why they use it, but that doesn't mean that it has to be used.
yeah, there are more exciting. It's like, okay, you show Forza for that real life reference, fine. Then you show like Halo
Minecraft,
or
apparently.
something.
Yeah, people can like compare it to older versions of Halo or older.
Yeah, I'm not even saying necessarily Halo. I'm just saying like,
I want to see the gameplay look better.
well, show me something that doesn't look real. Like it's the I know what a car looks like. I know what acceptably a car doesn't look like. I owned a PS2 at one point. And those still looked like cars. Do the new cars look way better? Yes, but world was low res back then, so we got caught up with the times. My point being, like, it's to a certain extent, I know what real things look like. I also know what I'm going to accept within a real thing. But like, if you're showing me something I know isn't real, and you're showing it to me in like, holy, again, I'm gonna use Horizon as an example. I would say this, like, there are moments in that game where I go, oh right, this isn't real life. You show that with like a game that's over the top and big, spacey or something that's like, wow, that's how you sell that kind of thing to me. It's like a car. Yeah, I know what a car looks like. A bully.
I feel like Forza is like the crisis for consoles right now, or at
Yeah.
least with Xbox. That's what they're using in that.
It
It's
is
like
a
it's
little
their,
bit.
It's their benchmark standard, but I'm like, it's a racing game.
No, and
like,
to be fair,
eh.
like Sony used Killzone as that way. The issue was Killzone was a sci-fi game, so it was full of like that's not real and it looks real moments.
Yeah.
Which is like,
Hey,
Actually, if they used a horror game.
Forza is trying to imitate real life harder than anyone else is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Like the
guess I'm
tracks
saying-
are real places, the cars are real cars, and stuff like that.
So speaking of real cars, though, that real car on stage. Let's stop doing that.
the was it the Porsche 911?
Finally, E3 has lived up to the potential it always had, being a place to reveal sweet ass cars.
Right? I'm so glad.
Broadening
years,
the market. Broadening the market.
You know, because everyone knows gamers are willing to drop top dollar for a super exotic fucking Porsche, because that's the market you need to target. I mean,
Well, what you need to understand, Alex, is that I can't afford this Porsche, but I can bring my Xbox to my local bar and pick up women by pretending like I've played a Porsche in a racing game.
hey baby,
This is precisely
got
how
it.
this works.
Right
You
on
wanna
the
see my
head.
digital garage? It's
Yeah.
loaded.
hey
You
baby,
want to see how many
wanna-
hours I've sank
wanna
into
see
this?
my
That could
teraflops?
be you.
I have a shit ton of teraflops.
Hey baby, you like that 4K? I got that 4K right here if you want it.
Yeah.
There's a drinking game that could have been
Yeah.
played.
I got some DDR5. That
Extendable
doing anything for
storage
ya?
right here.
Like, I may have to take you to my house on my bicycle, but baby, I got that 4K at home waiting for both of us if you want it.
It may be a shitty apartment. That's cool though.
Right.
I got that 4K. You can be anywhere.
Don't worry, babe. I live upstairs. So.
Right? Yeah. From the outside, it's my parents' garage, but from the inside, man cave.
Love Palace.
Yeah,
In 4K.
in 4K. Thank you.
Dude, you won't believe
The room isn't
what is
even
it,
real,
The
it's
macro
just
textures I got
digital.
going on in here.
All right.
Spawn
Graphics
point
so,
shite,
graphics
but
so real, you may not realize you're sleeping with a loser tonight. Oh,
We're a bit mean today.
Well, to be fair, the Microsoft. My summary on
Yes.
that is it was really
That was
meh.
That was an unbelievably underwhelming press conference.
Yeah.
It's
So do
as
we-
someone who will probably wind up buying a Scorpio because it's out there and I tend to do that. I'm kind of unsold on that. I'm like, maybe I don't need a Scorpio actually.
I will give Microsoft and Xbox credit where it's due. The one thing I really like about the new console is that any of your current Xbox One accessories will work seamlessly with the new Xbox One X.
Well,
so
so it
any
can still watch you
controllers-
while you're changing.
The PS4 Pro also makes that boast.
Well, the PS4 Pro is technically like still the PS4.
So is the Xbox
So is the
One.
Xbox One X. Yeah. I
The
mean, it's
Xbox
just
One
that-
S is just a better version of the Xbone. Like it's just
I mean,
a
it's
more,
unique because consoles haven't done that in a
this
while.
isn't like Xbox 2. This is
Yeah.
at best
It's not
like,
it's not a new platform
Yeah,
like the,
it's-
like this. I was
My
gonna say the
understanding
Snitch.
was that it was going to be a new platform.
No, and I think that's the issue. I think they managed to sell it the wrong way, where people really did think it was the next.
Oh, I'm gonna
iteration.
feel really sorry for the guy that has an Xbox One and then buys an Xbox One X and is like, I don't notice a difference because my TV isn't 4K.
Well,
so
they're saying they have this super sampling
Yeah,
thing now, so it's supposed to look even crisper, even though you have a 1080p TV.
and I'm sorry, I own a PS4 Pro. I don't have a 4K TV. I'm not utilizing it to full potential. But you know what is awesome? The extra processing power.
Yeah.
Like there's an argument to be made for both of these goddamn consoles, both the Sony's PS4 and Microsoft's Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm.
That's enough of a sell for some people, and for someone who finds the Xbox One's interface incredibly clunky, maybe you've got a sale in there. Like if you're selling it as like the Xbox One Extreme now with half the load time, you have me sitting there going like, okay.
it gives you pause.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I will give them credit for the accessory thing still, just because that's like nice, because I don't want to have to worry about getting new stuff.
Yeah, but
Which is great.
the fact they had to bring it up is confusing because like anyone, like if you were me going to that, you're like, of course it uses the same stuff. That's like saying, and you can still use the seatbelt in your car even though we put new tires on it. It's like,
Yeah.
why the fuck wouldn't my seatbelt work?
Yeah. And I also kind of like that they're expanding that
But
whole...
now you got me thinking about it.
that they're expanding the crossplay stuff between PC and Xbox. Like if you know that stuff, I know they've already started working on that, but they're
It's always
pushing it-
been there.
I know, but like they're pushing it more and more, which is nice because my girlfriend personally loves to play on an Xbox. That's her thing. She likes
Yeah.
it. So me being able to play a game co-op with her, even though I'm a huge PC
What
gamer.
game? There weren't any games announced that utilized it.
Well, there was a few that were like, Rocket League is gonna be one of them.
Rocket
Played
League.
But they
Portal
started
2
working
for
on
the
that, I
10th
know.
Yeah.
time.
I could do 4K Minecraft. With my
Yeah,
girlfriend, which is
me.
great.
You could be on your PC. I can be on my. You can be. Your girlfriend can be on your Xbox, and I can be on my Switch, and we can hang in that Minecraft.
It'll be
So,
awesome.
so your
and then
girlfriend
I-
could be playing on a standard dev TV and looking over at your mom being like, wow, it does look better on yours. Playing Minecraft.
I wonder how they're gonna balance like on FPSs if they're in the same server.
Oh, they don't let him play. It's Gears of War. You could do co-op through the campaign crossplay, but multiplayer was Xbox One or PC.
Because I was gonna say the advantage of having a keyboard and
Yeah,
a mouse
it's-
is
yeah.
just too much more
Yes.
than a
Yes.
console.
Yeah.
Very
But I-
much.
But I think at least stuff like hopefully Anthem does that, where you can do the co-op, at least for the campaign.
They're
stuff.
not gonna. It's so.
I don't think they will, but I'm kind of hoping out.
I say,
and
what
we'll see how it
alluded
goes,
to
but-
that? Did someone say something I'm unaware of?
What? Oh no, I'm just bringing up Anthem because it was one of the ones announced for Xbox.
Okay, I was gonna say because I don't remember Anthem saying anything about crossplay.
We'll get to Anthem in a second. Like that's the big one. That Xbox. Hey, we're bringing back Xbox games. That's kind of cool, I guess.
That's cool too, yeah.
Too bad I don't own any Xbox games anymore except Jade Empire. But
But hey, now you can do Jade Empire in glorious 4K.
no guarantee of that actually.
Shout out to Jim and Charlie for playing through Jade Empire.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you want to see that game, check out this little known YouTube channel, Something
We're
Wicked
not
Studios.
promoting our stuff in the middle of our E3 stuff. Professionalism,
Too late.
you asshole.
There's a reason I haven't called
Isn't
out
that
anybody yet.
professional?
So, except
There's
for
a
the
man here in a
actual-
romper.
Fair.
All right. right, you guys ready to move
Damn
on to the
straight,
Bethesda?
you
No,
straight,
we
you
still have a
freaking rock
couple more
that
things to
Oh,
talk
yeah,
about.
yeah.
zebra gum looking thing.
The number of release
Don't
dates
let anyone
was cool.
tell you otherwise.
The number of release dates for Microsoft was kind of cool. Like, it's like, hey, it's stuff coming out soon.
Yeah.
Did you notice the fact that all of the stuff they acknowledged wasn't actually exclusives?
Yeah, even though there was like
Console
by the way,
exclusive. I'm like, wait, that's the launch console. Like, so, if you're confused what I'm talking about, like, they said the word exclusive, but it's been pretty heavily implied. Almost nothing they showed is a permanent exclusive to the Xbox One. And some of the, like, maybe it's like, oh, it's coming to that PC then too. It's like, yeah, except for the fact that the Cuphead guys have been out there saying, like, we're coming to Steam.
Yeah, like I like the one where they're like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds console exclusive. Like, I'm pretty
Console-
sure I'm playing that right now on my Steam account. Like,
And that game's not new soon either. That game's coming out far enough in the future that my first reaction to it was like, that's a pretty cool game right now. Wonder if it'll still be a cool game in 4 months.
I mean, it's fun for what it is, but like, yeah, it's just like console exclusive. I'm like, but I'm playing it right now. What are you talking about?
Maybe they mean exclusively on
Ex-
consoles.
Or out of the
yeah.
consoles,
I don't
they have it
know.
exclusively.
Yeah, it's like this particular version right here that we wrote is exclusively for our console. But if you put it in a
That they
PlayStation,
wrote.
it's not gonna work.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
It's gonna be really sad when one day they pull through on their word and Alex is just playing PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, happy as he can be, like, I'm having a great time. All of a sudden, click, they shut off the server and are like,
Some dude comes
do
to
I
his
buy
sound
an
old-timey?
Xbox. It's just a screen that
Comes
says,
over and like,
buy an
Some dude comes
Xbox
just breaks
comes up.
his keyboard across his knee and goes,
it's like, sorry,
no.
this is the exclusive now.
No, he's gonna walk
Yeah.
in, and it's gonna be 3 guys, and 2 guys are gonna have an X. The one guy's gonna have an O, and they're gonna beat the shit out of me, uninstall the game, and be like, console exclusive, bitch, and then leave.
and teabag
And then Nikolai's gonna be like, sorry, it's only a living.
Yeah. Nikolai Tracksuit's cousins.
Yeah.
No.
Oh my
Hey,
god.
Nikolai, my cousin.
It's all come full circle.
Yep.
So, at least for me, the biggest news at the Microsoft press conference was Anthem, and it's not exclusive to Xbox One. It's coming to everything as best we can tell. It's the new, totally not a ripoff of Destiny IP from BioWare that is pretty goddamn cool.
It does look really cool.
Looks pretty goddamn Destiny, too.
It's-
but-
In some
not-
ways, it makes me want to take $600 and instead of buying an Xbox One X, just upgrade my computer.
yeah.
yeah.
Hey, that's
much.
it, but-
That but Charlie, it's different. It's third person over the shoulder. It's not Destiny because it's third person over the shoulder,
It's got
Charlie.
jetpacks.
But third person over the shoulder. It's not Destiny, Charlie.
As cool as I found Anthem, I'm watching the reveal for it, and I'm sitting there going, did someone at EA just sit there and go like, man, Destiny's doing super well for Activision? Hey, BioWare, you fucked up that last game you made. Make us a Destiny.
Yeah. And
Say, does EA own Activision? Because wouldn't this
EA
be more
no,
like
no,
going
Blizzard-
so?
Blizzard owns
No,
Activision.
Activision owns Blizzard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
they've
Someone's
merged.
probably sitting there going, man, the Division failed. How do we just steal Destiny?
Well, no, Activision.
Knockoff Destiny isn't working.
Activision makes Destiny.
You're talking- well,
EA makes Anthem
Anthem, yeah.
because they own BioWare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ubisoft owns the Division.
Yeah. Like where did Division
Okay,
come
so I'm
from?
all fucked up. I'm sorry.
They've gone rogue,
We're invading your press conference.
right?
It's the dark zone in here.
Right. Ubisoft here, bitches. We don't give a fuck. Our
Ubisoft
time's
is
up.
the
Breakthrough
house.
Terry Crews style.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, yeah, so
Speaking of Terry Crews, but not jumping to it. Anthem.
oh yeah, we probably should jump back for a second. Actually, Crackdown, it's happening.
Yep.
They sold me 0% on that because they didn't actually show that much of the game.
But Terry Crews.
All they managed to confirm is that I like Terry Crews.
Yeah, yep.
Terry Crews is
What?
great.
Terry Crews is
And
pretty
everyone's
funny.
looking there going, why aren't you in a Blizzard property? Get the fuck over there and voice, was it Death
Doomfist.
Shadow? Doomfist,
Well,
yeah.
he's supposed to be Doomfist, but I would give Crackdown a chance. I would give Crackdown a chance if I get yelled at by Terry Crews all fucking game.
I think that might be what's happening.
I-
but-
yeah.
I
Like an
definitely
Old Spice
infer that you could
reference,
just
too.
make Terry Crews your character.
Right? Like, I want to walk into the room and, like, make sure you use maximum power! He just fucking yells at you. I'm like, all right, I don't know what's going on for the mission, but I'm fucking pumped. Let's go. Like,
Guess this is how it works now.
yeah. So, Crackdown, yeah, give it a shot.
And you have to imagine that they just gave him like 30 minutes in a green screen room. Or like, just do whatever the fuck you want, dude.
Yeah, it's like here's your summary of things to say,
We'll just-
Terry Crews. Just yell at
Yeah.
us in front of
Just
the
hit
green
the
screen
points.
for about 30 minutes.
We'll
hit the
just leave the
points, man.
camera rolling. You do you.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess back to Anthem for a second. They didn't show much. It looks cool. It's a very Charlie-ass game because it looks like Destiny.
But they showed Jaka's Wrath. It dropped.
It did drop.
The most unexcited fucking oh hey look, Jaka's Wrath dropped. Like, oh okay.
I'm sitting there going like,
What does that mean?
well, so I'm watching this and my Destiny senses went off, and I'm like, oh, you got Jockus Raft, did you? That's cool. That's cool. I'm like, this game isn't even out yet!
Yeah. Like, okay. What
Why am I already jealous of this person and this gun I don't own in a game that's not even available for me to play?
Yeah.
Right, because Destiny has ruined me as a gamer.
Or
'Cause it's-
or how about oh hey, have you gone over to explore that cave yet? No, not yet. You should go. It'd be good for you to
I'm
grind.
sorry.
Well, let's just skip all of that and go this way. Like,
it's better than the way Ubisoft has chosen to present that stuff with the fake gamer team speak. I'd rather that, which is the we're leaning into hey, I got this mortar over the weekend, which is the greatest sentence ever if you're saying it in real life and not a video game. But in a video game, it's hey, I ground out some stuff and made a mortar.
yeah, out of context, please.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but it looked cool. I've always kind of wanted a game like that where it's hey, we have this power armor, and you can equip the power armor, and they showed off the two things I want power armor to do, which is jetpack and cluster missiles. And I'm like, okay, you've sold me on two things I care about. What happens when I run? Oh, the jetpack turns on. That's exactly what should happen. And there's a heavy version. It's got a mortar. Bet I can put the cluster missiles on it,
Yeah, you're essentially a team of war machines from Iron Man.
which I'm okay with.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It looks cool. The one that's up in the air with the scarf and just hovering like a smug motherfucker. I'm like, what is that one's deal? I need to know what a smug power armor is.
It would be Jaka's scarf.
Oh my.
Yeah,
It adds plus 13 swag, which
Yeah.
still won't get it on Alex's level.
But I will say, for the shit we're giving Anthem, I actually am interested in
looks
playing
cool
it quite
as
a bit.
shit.
It does look
You
cool
went
as
from
shit.
the air into the water, then you jumped down. It was all seamless. Then you shot stuff
Yeah, when I saw the little part where he was targeting the cluster bombs, I'm like, is he gonna do that thing from Iron Man where he just shoots the rounds? But no, they were fucking bombs. And he's like, well, that squad's wiped out. Like, holy shit, that was cool. And then Jaka's Wrath, but still, it was cool. I enjoyed it. It was a nice reveal. Obviously, you could tell it's their answer to Destiny, but it looks fun.
Yeah, no, and that
Can I say a few things?
sure.
So, as a non-Destiny fan and a person who probably won't get Anthem, one of the things that has been probably one of the more interesting things passively as a Destiny observer, because I get to visit there on vacations and just peer into your world.
Please, you get
One of the
dragged there
things-
against your will.
Yeah. Say one of the things that makes Destiny much more interesting than just stuff around it is it has this multi-faction universe with a lot of shit just going on between the different factions trying to capture not the moon, but whatever the thing is that whatever it's near, the universe is just good.
Moon's good enough, yeah. It's the Traveler, but yeah,
Yeah.
Moon, Traveler,
Yeah, the
basically the same
Traveler.
thing.
But you have all these different factions of time traveling creatures versus
Yep.
hive minds versus, fucking gray goo. And they've actually taken the time to actually write out this story to some regard and understanding the different factions and what their desires are, why they give a shit, how they operate can be somewhat interesting. And Anthem, ideally, will take a similar ball and run with it.
No, so and
Because
kind of building off what you're saying, it's made by BioWare. Mass
That
Effect
is a-
and Mass
that is a
Effect
good
Andromeda
sign.
had shortcomings, but that world was still okay.
Yeah.
yeah. So, I don't think it's going to be a game for me because I'm not a loot shooter person, but for those who are into it, it is seeming like cream of the crop in the loot shooter category. I do think that this game is probably when we did our podcast, however long ago, a week ago, and Charlie said, I want from this E3 a what the fuck is that moment, the Horizon Zero Dawn moment. And out of every game I saw, that one was very clearly this is Charlie's Horizon Zero Dawn
Yeah, no,
moment
that game-
2017.
that game was they showed the trailer at EA, and I'm like, oh, they're making a Destiny clone. And then they showed that, and I went, oh, they're making a better version of Warframe. Tell me more.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm that's one of my favorites actually for this year.
Yeah, no, that's a. Yeah, I think it's. They didn't show a lot of that game, but what they showed was just super impressive, and I hope they're going to show more moving forward, because it's like, I want to know, is there there's some little parts of it that I look at it and go, okay, how does this work exactly? Like, part of the fun of Destiny is you have this drop-in, drop-out multiplayer kind of thing. If they have that in that game, that's super cool. If they don't have it, how does that work exactly? But, yeah.
I liked the, like, not quite seamless, but the how do you acquisition a quest? Well, someone actually has a conversation with you. Like, that was kind of nice.
Yeah, no, it's...
Well, like...
That said, I have no idea how jarring that'll get when you're walking through as, like, a level 50 and some level 5 walks up to you. Please, my dear beloved puppy has run away.
Oh, no, I
and
want
let me
that
puppy
shit.
dog eyes you.
Yeah.
I want that shit. I want
Oh my
guy,
God,
like,
get on my
rolling
level,
up to
get
save
outta
that
here.
puppy, power armored, like, mortaring shit out of trees, dual shotgun wielding, being like, I'm here for someone's dog!
I'm here for Mr. Fluffers.
Yes, exactly. I'm sorry, there's nothing more fun than going and doing low-level quests when you're stupid overpowered for them, because it's like, I took time out of my busy schedule not to kill you, but to decimate you.
Yeah, and one of the things BioWare does right is I really do like how like the quest givers and stuff like that do actually talk to you, like a lot of dialogue. They did that with the Old Republic, so you know it'll be cool to see. And I look forward to rescuing Jaka's dog.
Yeah.
From the scarf.
The scarf that's how you get the scarf. The
On
dog is wearing the scarf.
The dog stole the
You can't-
scarf and it ran away with the scarf. You have to go find the dog, and in gratitude, you get the scarf. Duh.
Yeah.
No,
Destiny
you
logic.
tell him, or he says, hey, it was the dog with the scarf, and you go, what scarf?
Oh, it's a BioWare game, meaning you could play like a bad character.
That's
what
right.
scarf? You should give me money for saving your dog.
There you go.
Yeah. Which you're paying me for that too, right?
Random NPC will remember this. Remember, your
Harvey
choices
Dent will
have
remember this. Who
consequences.
gives a shit? It becomes Two-Face either way.
Yes. Well, so that part
Deep
is the
cut.
Microsoft one. Bethesda.
Yes.
Say,
the
there's a lot
Bethesda
more to
one.
talk about Microsoft if you guys want to spend some time.
Sure, if you got more.
Like-
I was
Oh,
kind of
hell yeah.
underwhelmed.
So there's this little Egyptian game that's coming out.
We'll talk about that when we get to Ubisoft.
Okay. I thought those were all, for me, they were all blended in.
Yeah,
'cause there
that
was-
one they demoed that there. I was
They
gonna say that for
also got-
Ubisoft because that's the originator of me going, "What the fuck is Assassin's Creed now? Is it
Yeah.
Far Cry? Because it looks like Far Cry."
It's just going back.
Because there's also, or, I was gonna say, there's also Sea of Thieves. Showed a lot more of what that is.
But they also successfully showed nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
Like,
I was gonna say, I very much am like, Sea of Thieves, you have unmotivated me because it's like, hey, we added legendary treasure. What is legendary within your universe?
never opened that
it's
chest!
got the box has got a different skin. Whoa, Larry motherfucking da.
What's in the box?
yeah, they have now successfully 2 E3s in a row not explained what that game actually is, and I still stand by my question of, yeah, this multiplayer is super cool and all. What do I do when I'm not hanging out with my friends?
Yeah.
Drink rum and dance and, you know.
Yeah,
I
but
got
can do that in
whiskey.
real life.
Well, there you go.
Yay!
Yeah, like it's
Alcoholism simulator.
yeah.
Say there was also Life is Strange 2 got announced, and that trailer was fucking.
That looks cool.
That looks
baller.
cool. That's interesting because like I'm kind of curious. Like one of the charms of that is it's a decision-making game where you have the ability to go back in time, in short intervals. How are they going to do that now that Max isn't? It's
Well, you're playing as Chloe now, yeah, pre-blue hair Chloe, which means we're going to play that game because I need to know more about
yeah,
Chloe.
because I'm really curious to see like, well, you want, yeah, I know you want to know more about.
I
Chloe,
need to know more about Chloe now.
but also like, what's going to be the little like mechanism in the game, or
Yeah,
is it just
I-
going to be because? I mean, that's huge.
Well, and there
Life
is an
Strange.
announced Life is Strange 2 out there, which they've said has nothing to do with Life is Strange 1. So
Okay, it's a different world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but so this is still in that world though, so we'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I imagine it's gonna have a extremely dark story, considering it's the Rachel
Well, so
Amber.
that's the best part. If you've played Life is Strange, you know, like, people in that trailer, I'm like, oh, that person's still alive. For now.
And it is also weird. You're playing it where you know the two main characters, like,
And that's I guess
die,
that's
like-
what I'm intrigued by. Well, so one of the
Yeah.
characters lives through this game. One of the characters does not.
yeah.
Yeah. But I figured that'd be what we're talking about. I thought visually I think one of the things that I thought was so visually powerful about this is we're so used to this idea of like light and dark, and you have the Kingdom Hearts style, like you are the light and darkness is the enemy, and the whole like the closer you get to the light, the longer your shadow becomes. And in this game, darkness was like the soft color,
Yeah,
and white was the danger. And I thought that was a really interesting role reversal on like just our understanding of like the color spectrum and what it means as an implication. And it was beautiful to watch that. Because like when he comes out of it almost looked like he was in like a vat of plastic. Like when he comes out of that, like at the end, and like the claws just come up and grab him, I was like, that's visually a fucking.
You're thinking of a
awesome.
different game.
Am I? What game am I?
You're
thinking
Isn't
of
that like Beyond Good and Evil 2?
no.
or some-
You're thinking of Evil Within. That's
Evil Within. Oh
Evil
shit!
Within.
That's
Sorry,
Bethesda.
I'm fucked
That's
up.
Bethesda.
Yeah, that's something
Okay,
else.
yeah. Evil Within looks baller.
Well, so
Everything. Imagine everything I just said, except apply it to the game, The Evil Within 2.
fair enough.
So really quick before we leave Microsoft, two things. Number one, finally that we got a release date for Cuphead. It's about damn time.
Yay.
I don't believe it's actually happening.
So, well, don't.
Because they had a release date before.
Oh, okay.
So
had
for
two
those who
release dates.
Okay.
do
Oh,
not
jeez.
gamble with Charlie on release dates of Cuphead, I am as hopeful as the rest of you, but do not do it unless you want to part with your money. Because he's already won how much money off of that?
A lot.
It's in the hundreds. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, so I'm kind of happy about that. And then two, can we talk about the number of like tower defense zombie related first-person shooter
State
games
of Decay
were announced
2?
in just one thing? Like you had Fortnite, I think it was called, which is like the goofy Overwatch.
I don't think that was announced as part of Microsoft. That was announced
I
as part of
could've
E3.
Okay, I
No,
could have sworn it was, but
State of
maybe-
State of Decay
2 was a
2
thing.
yeah,
is
State of Decay
Microsoft.
2, like they're all things. Like there was, like I watched these and like, okay, the only difference is like the art style.
There was
but
a
they're
lot of
both-
zombie again this year.
a
which
lot of zombie
Yeah.
this year.
I think I said multiple times during our streams, I don't play zombie games anymore.
I feel like there's a lot of zombie every year for the past few years.
No, this year was especially bad. Like, you had Days Gone, you had State of Decay, you had Fortnite get announced. There was a zombie mode for
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
PlayerUnknown's.
But on the plus side for that, it was announced as a custom game. It will no way affect the core game itself.
Yeah.
And they did promise to actually finish the core game before they even started introducing the zombie stuff
that's
down
fair.
the line. And the other thing about that is, from what I was hearing, in PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, when you have the zombie mode, the players are also the zombies.
Yeah, no, it's
It's not like AI zombie horde
Yeah.
shit. So,
Well, that's a unique twist, yeah.
yeah. Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, there was just a bunch of zombie. Like, especially in the Microsoft announcements alone. Like, there's a lot of zombie.
yeah.
So, that's, as far as Microsoft goes, that's it for me.
I wrote a note here. Whoever the voice actor is who does the generic boomer noise is getting a lot of work. It's like,
He's like, I'm booked all week, sorry.
Sorry, I'm in
Yeah.
another game
I got-
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, who shows up more in the soundtracks? The fucking Wilhelm scream or the zombie
Boomer dude.
Boomer dude.
the other thing I got here now, keep in mind that, you know, I watch the highlight videos, so if these are out of order, you want to talk about them with another dev, totally cool. I've got the 2D, like, almost like Sprite Fighter Dragon Ball Z game, looks kind of neat.
Oh yeah, that did get
That's-
announced as part of Microsoft, didn't it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I could have sworn it was another one, but yes, that
Yeah,
game
that
looks.
that game looks like
fucking
Dragon
good.
Ball Z.
I played
Yeah.
it on the floor at E3, the Dragon Ball Z game.
Ooh, do tell.
So, okay, a little context. It is being developed by the same guys who do Guilty Gear XRD. So it's going to have that art style to it, where it's the 2.5D, they call it, or whatever.
Sure.
So it looks 2D
Perfectly
from
fine.
far away, but when they do like the close-ups or specials or things like that, you very much can see the 3D, much like Guilty Gear XR3
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever.
we're getting kind
So-
of have depth.
I'm
a
fine
little
with
bit.
2D fighters where the games like commit to being a 2D fighter. That is totally acceptable.
Yeah, and here's the thing though. Guilty Gear has done that to the point where it works for them, and it looks really good. And this Dragon Ball Z fighting
looks
game
good. It looks good,
really
yeah.
crisp. It's really. I got to play it, and the animations on it are phenomenal. It looks really clean, and it basically a lot of people are saying this too, and I think I have to agree. It very much feels like a kind of a slap towards Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Okay, opinion. Of course, we can agree to disagree, but like, it very much plays like the old Marvel games where you have the 3v3 combat. You can switch out characters and stuff like that. Although they do a very interesting way of eliminating mix-ups or unblockables coming into the match kind of thing. So it plays really well. It's pretty straightforward. The quarter forward motion, quarter back motions for abilities. You have specials. You build up the bars. You can still do the charge feature like you do in the old games, but like it very much plays really smoothly. And I have to say, it's also another solid game. And it's definitely on my wish list of games to get. But it plays really well. It looks stunning. And we only had 6 characters in the demo. I can't wait to see what else is revealed for that game.
Yeah.
But it looks good. And I mean, the arc system the arc system's pretty refined, and the guy working on it has also been working on that kind of art style as well. And I think that art style with Dragon Ball Z is really going to do it justice.
Sure. No,
No. It lends itself to that like kind of cartoony but kind of 3D. Like that is like perfect for DBZ.
Mm-hmm.
Like I actually can't even probably think of a better candidate for it than
Yeah.
DBZ is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is that like vertical 2D fighter setup. So you're not like Tekken where you can kind of circle around and you have like you can do. Oh, here's a fireball. Oh, well, that's fucking funny. I'll just sidestep over.
Yeah.
Fireball's stupid. But no, it's very much that like 2D setup, and it plays really well.
That's exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
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 I'm all about unique elements in games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is a
Say-
tried and true element. Because
Yeah.
It is, but it's not commonly used.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of exploring something that worked really well in another game, but in another setting. And I think like Jeff was saying, Dragon Ball Z is a perfect. I would love to see actually kind of along those lines of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, remember that old one from the early '90s.
Oh
That'd be
yeah, the
cool,
fighting
yeah.
game for that.
Like in
yes!
that form. Oh, that would be amazing.
That would be
Idea
really
for you
cool.
developers
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah, but just a little open-ended question, I think, because this will be another discussion for another time, is how open the FGC will be to adding this to like things like Evo down the line as a actual
I think if
contender
it's
game.
good, it's good. They kind of will. They'll. If there's a scene and a following and it plays good, people will play it, and then
Yeah.
it will happen.
Yeah. So I think Marvel fans will definitely enjoy it. At least previous Marvel game fans will definitely enjoy it, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. So
All right.
So Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Yes.
I've got more. I say there's more Microsoft games, or do you want to just jump over?
What do you got?
They did Ashen, which looks kind of neat, but Ori and the Will of the Wisps looks pretty neat. Artistically, it's very beautiful.
Well, that's Ori's niche. They're always like
Yeah.
they're super
Yeah.
artsy. Like they didn't even show any gameplay, but people were like, Ori, oh, that art's gonna be so good. Like
Yeah.
they didn't show any gameplay.
I want like when they come out with like a coffee table book that's just like here's the art concept art from the game. Yeah, that's all I need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashen actually looked kind of appealing in a weird way to me because it was a very good representation of like super darkness mixed with like minimalism in a strange, weird
I think
like.
I
Okay,
like
this is
the
kinda
art
neat.
style of that game
Yeah.
more than I'm gonna like that game. Because that game looks a lot like Dark Souls, but not Dark Souls, and I've played enough Dark Souls but not Dark Souls games to know I like Dark Souls. I don't like Souls-likes.
Say, I did like the fact that like they introduced a lot of these like little like very shadowy like almost like witch character
Yeah.
creature things. And I was like, okay, it probably, addresses you slowly. It's like, no, if that thing sees you, you just get fucked. And the thing is like super fast moving and genuinely threatening, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed that fact. Oh, and one last thing I wanted to say about DBZ is I really like that they are not pinning themselves down with a particular era of DBZ.
Yeah.
Oh no, not
I
at
like
all.
that. Yeah, when you've got Frieza, Cell, and Majin Buu in the same game, you are winning.
And that's
like-
just what they demoed. I mean, just wait till
Yeah.
they step into doing like Dragon Ball Super, which I'm sure they're gonna have. There's no way in hell they're not gonna capitalize on the anime right now.
Yeah, they can get the best characters in the show, Tien and Yamcha.
There you go, Team Yamcha.
Wolfang
They
Fist,
suck.
motherfuckers. So Bethesda, we're finally moving on to Bethesda.
Yeah. So
Jeff likes Evil Within's art style,
Yeah, Jeff likes Evil Within.
as established earlier.
I will
Evil
admit
Within 2.
I went from Microsoft to the Bethesda one, and so I was more impressed. Not that that's saying much with the Bethesda one than Microsoft. But
Bethesda spent all their money on their E3
That
presentation than
weird
the actual
Disneyland
fucking
thing.
games.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but they're milking the fuck out of Skyrim and Fallout 4.
yes,
that is true. There's a lot of like, what do you call it? We're gonna add this to Skyrim and Fallout 4, and we're gonna do this Morrowind stuff, and
Yeah.
they showed off Wolfenstein: The New Colossus.
That was cool.
That
So can,
I
so
really,
can
that
we
game
end
looks
on
really good.
Wolfenstein? Because I am so stoked for that one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Wolfenstein: The New Order is an awesome game.
Wolfenstein: The New Order. It's the Order 1866 or whatever that stupid piece
No,
of
no,
shit
you-
was.
Yeah, no, it's...
You
it's
know this is the sequel to a game, right, Jeff?
Wait, or Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
Yeah, to Wolfenstein. The Order 1866 wasn't in the Wolfenstein series, was it?
No, there's a game
No.
called Wolfenstein: The New Order, which came out like 3 or 4 years
that
ago.
was, yeah,
now.
2014. That
Oh,
was
that's
Wolfenstein: The
that's
New
what
Order.
the reboot game was.
Yeah.
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 Then they had one.
I know
little
I
after
know they
that,
made
and
the
then this
reboot
one.
game. I didn't
Then there's
play
the
it
Old
though.
Blood, and that was kind of a half expansion. And yeah, no, I love the New Order.
This looked good, and the preview and everything. Like
I'm sorry, that
I was just
Liesel
laughing
video
because it's
is
name
fucking
similar to
hilarious.
me and Jim's.
that was awesome. Oh my god, I was laughing
like,
my ass
Liesel.
off. Yeah,
Like-
yeah. And then there are just scenes though. They're just like very chilling because like the milkshake
Nazi.
scene, the milkshake Nazi is a very disturbing scene because like it's just leave it to Beaver 50s-esque world, but the Nazi is just chilling
I
here.
Yeah,
find
with-
something disturbingly funny about the idea of a Nazi drinking a strawberry milkshake.
Milkshake,
Like,
yeah.
if it'd been chocolate or vanilla, I'd been like, whatever. It's the, strawberry milkshake. I'm like, that's just
I was watching
evil.
it, and it evoked. You ever seen what was that? Castle in the Man in the High Castle.
Yes.
It had
That's
a lot
exactly
of
that
what I was
vibe.
thinking. Yes,
Oh.
yes, because I mean it's and then the part where they're in front of the diner and you can see like the Nazi guy like escorting the KKK guy.
Yes!
Like,
Like,
those little
dude,
scenes-
we have different uniforms now. Don't worry. Like, you can wear these uniforms instead.
Yeah, you
Like,
don't need to wear these hoods. It's all out in the
Yeah, you
open
can be out in the
now.
open now.
You mean the part right before the milkshake scene?
Yes.
Yeah. Or, like, was it, when they were doing, right after Yeasel or whatever, Liesel?
Oh, lethal, yeah.
They had
Liesel,
fucking
yeah.
everyone's
That
favorite
commercial
game
was
show.
amazing.
German or else. Like, what the fuck? What?
That was funny.
That's so telling of like
Yeah.
what that's like. Like, yeah, German or else. Like, I've never seen a man with more disdain on his face hosting a game show than fucking that guy. And then you have not Christoph Waltz with the fucking milkshake,
yeah.
which is great. Like that. Oh, that
was
that
the
game
preview itself was like.
phenomenal.
Oh yeah, that was great.
That's where all the budget
And then of course
at.
at the very end, we're like I love the scene where BJ walks up to like the elevator. And he's like, "I'm not a Nazi." He said Nazi. He said Nazi.
You say Nazi? Ah, fuck it.
And then he has that like
Yeah,
weird like.
he turns into
armor
Mr. fucking Dead Space.
shit. Yeah,
That's in
that
the
was
first game.
really good.
Yeah, I know,
Isaac
but-
Clarke.
yeah, and then
That was good. And then of course you see like the Nazi scientist lady. Yeah.
yeah, but like, oh my god, they ended their trailer with a dude tripping on acid and a pregnant woman stabbing a Nazi. Like, that's how you end a fucking trailer.
Yeah.
Yes, that is.
That is how you do it.
That is probably the most memorable trailer for me of all of E3.
Yes.
Like, yes.
Yeah,
There-
no,
There is a tiny sick part of me that wishes that the main character was voiced by Brad Pitt and it literally just was the Inglorious Bastards in the future. Like,
I mean the past technically.
and more
but
people
yeah.
not
Maybe say
saying Nazi,
retrofuturist.
but Nazi.
Yeah.
Well,
Nazis.
so
Killing Nazis.
to be
Nazis.
fair,
Nazis.
Lieutenant Aldo
We're
Ray
going into
wishes
France,
he was DJ
disguised as
Blazkowicz.
citizens.
That's true. BJ Blazkowicz is kind of a couple leagues.
I would love, and if you're out there, Bethesda, please use this and credit me later on. I would love if they did some sort of quest line where you have like an homage to Inglorious Bastards.
It's called the
Yeah.
stealth segments.
Oh, well, there you go.
That you can play that game stealth, and it's all about just knifing dudes and scalping them, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
But
it's all about brutal
but like
takedowns.
active
But I mean, like
references.
active references, like one of the quest givers is, Aldor Payne or
Or you have
some weird
Christopher
thing.
Wallace's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christopher Wallace in there.
I'll also, or one of the things I wrote down was it's gonna be interesting to be fighting Nazis on our territory because I'm used to kicking the shit out of not zombies, out of fucking Nazis in the 1940s, and that's where their technology ends. And I could just sit there and go, hey, my tech's better than yours. But now we're in the future.
And in
We
the
got
US,
future
like,
guns
you're
and
right.
shits.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Nazis have the upper hand, so it'd be interesting. Like, oh yeah, you were a threat, and not just like the comedic bad guy.
Yeah. I
Which is gonna be a.
I have a soft spot.
I'm looking forward to this game.
I have a soft
You have a
spot.
soft spot for what?
Sorry, it's because of the lag.
What'd you say?
No, it's because of the lag. No, I was gonna have I agree with you. I have a soft spot for like alternative history games. And
Yeah.
I just wish
Yeah.
there were more. Like there was one. Well, I don't want to venture too far away from Bethesda, but
So I guess like obviously we love the Wolfenstein.
yes.
You know what I really
Was
like?
there anything really else worth talking about from
No.
Yes, there was. Are you kidding me? Have you heard of
nudist.
this little game called Skyrim? Oh yeah, because it's been out for how many fucking years now?
It's only been
Well,
out for like
there was-
3 years.
Seriously, like, let it go, Bethesda.
Let it
Like,
go.
You did a great job. Skyrim will forever be in the hallmark of gaming. Let that shit go. You're like an ex who keeps calling, saying, "Hey, by the way, I found a half-used stick of deodorant. Would you want to come pick it up from my place?" Like, let that shit
I
go.
really enjoy the fact that now I think 3/4 of the Something Wicked Studio staff is now on my boat, where it's me being like, you know what game you shouldn't play anymore? Skyrim.
Skyrim. But you know what else they
Love Skyrim.
announced, which is a clusterfuck, is the fucking Creation Club.
Oh, you mean paid mods?
Paid mods
Are back.
Seriously,
That actually kind of annoys me. I like free user mods. Like it's like
Yes,
they put a
most
spin on a
people
bad
do.
thing.
like, and here's the thing, like, okay, so Skyrim on PC, somebody developed a high texture pack, was free as a mod, cool. Skyrim was re-released and remastered with a high texture pack with a new price tag. And now they're like, hey, you know what? We got this thing going together. It sounds really fucking cool. You know that stuff that people do in the community for free? Well, you can pay us, and then we can do that stuff where you put it out there. Like, it's really fucking cool. I know it sounds weird because there's like money involved, even though it's a free
But
thing
it's
before,
cool.
But it's really
What
fucking
if
cool.
there was a term that existed for this already called like I don't know, paid DLC?
Yeah, but you know what? We're not even gonna make the paid DLC anymore. We're
pay
gonna let
someone
we're gonna let the
else.
users immerse themselves in the environment of DLC. Fuck you, Bethesda.
Yeah, I was like, are you really trying to spin this as a good thing?
It was worse than React World, I think, or in that level of like, hey, we're doing this, and I mean, nothing against the guys, they're cool, I guess, but like, I mean, I met one of the guys, and he was actually pretty cool. He was a nice guy. But like, yeah, like, hey, you know, we know you guys like doing creative content.
Hey,
for the
it's
community.
Skyrim. You know
But-
Skyrim.
Yeah,
Everyone
you know?
knows Skyrim. You all love Skyrim. How about you like to pay more money for Skyrim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, just please, like, we get it. It's a great game. Let that shit go.
I don't think it's a great game.
I mean,
I agree. It's a great game, but it was a great game in 2015. Like, I mean,
I
unless
think
you're
it was a good game. I don't think it's even their best Elder Scrolls game, but
I don't
mean,
think it is. But
I think it's one of the really iconic ones because you hear so
it's-
much more about Skyrim than you do hear about Morrowind. And Morrowind was also another.
that was a great one. I mean, it was
I
like
love
the
the fact
first
we're
really.
forgetting the one that comes between a Morrowind
Oblivion?
and Skyrim.
I liked Oblivion, but I mean,
Oblivion, yeah.
but Skyrim kind of Skyrim eclipsed it.
I think just because you can yell at people and there's dragons. Like,
Yeah.
That's
Think
the
about
cool shit.
Well, so that's kind of what Bethesda
Say-
was. It was re-releases
Say-
and Wolfenstein.
I like their like. What
There's
is it?
another one.
Oh yeah, and yes, that game Jeff
Dishonored.
thought was a different game. Evil Within 2 is officially a thing. It's got some. So here's the issue. I've played Evil Within 1. Like with the first one, its trailer was a hell of a lot cooler than that game wound up being. And the aesthetics Jeff thought were so cool about that game, I don't remember being in that game.
Yeah, that's a whole new. From people who say it's a lot different from the first one. From what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So, if it does well, I look forward to seeing it for the next 10 years.
Bethesda.
Thanks, Bethesda.
2026.
Fine.
Oh, Skyrim third expansion.
Bethesda is that high school jock who's graduated 3 years ago and still goes to the homecoming like, hey guys, I was a football player. I'm cool.
There's been a complete turnover of the student body, and he
Yeah,
still goes
like,
back.
who the fuck are you? Stop. Like, we get it.
Yeah. What would you guys think about like the beginning, like their little intro with all the
It's
kids?
cute.
It was cute.
adorable. I liked it. I liked
it.
it.
Went on too long, and
You can't be like, but that sucks. They have kids.
Presentation-wise?
no, and I
it was
stand
really
by
cool.
my statement I said during the live stream we did of it, which is I don't like when companies do that. It's like, oh, we're humanizing them. I'm like, I don't want to know who you people are. You make it's like I don't know how many kids Brad Pitt has for a reason. I don't want that extra level. Like I want to be able to say, hey, your movie fucking sucked. Like, oh, we're humanizing you. If my dad gets fired for bad level design, his family starves, and my reaction to that is like, I don't get to sit around at my job being like, well, if I lose my job here, I don't have an apartment anymore, and then SWS falls by the wayside. I find that like, if you're gonna make a documentary of The Office, it's fine. It's like, oh, we're a family, blah blah blah. We're doing the Ubisoft.
But you don't
thing.
think this was the appropriate context?
It was weird.
It was their, like, okay, we're going to get a lot of shit for Creation Club. How can we, like, divert it?
Yes,
That's probably.
How
a
can we
good
divert
point.
it? Let's show our kids, like, hey, this is where your paid DLC mods are going to go. You know, my kid needs to go to private school. Like, or else he might
South
end up like a
Park, will
plebe, like
Lars's
you
family ever
consumers.
be able to
Like,
afford that fur-lined
fuck
swimming
outta
pool?
here.
Oh
Isn't
my!
Mandy cute? You should buy some mods.
Right? Yeah. Like the
For
only
games
thing
that came out 3 years ago.
The only thing that would have
More
made
than
that
three.
the only thing that would have made that kid trailer perfect is at one point they cut over. Oh, this is my son, the Dragonborn. It cuts over. Fucking Skyrim again. Why?
So if they'd done that, I'd have been cool with it.
That actually
I would
was.
have laughed. I would have laughed. But like, yeah, like a little girl with a fucking Dragonborn helmet. Like, what?
I wanted the delinquent kids to show up.
Right? Where's little Johnny, the fucking pissant
I wanted
kid
a kid
who
who's
fucking
like, I don't like
everyone?
Skyrim.
This is our
Yeah.
kids in Juvie. No.
Yeah. You know? Oh, what about James? He has kids. Well, we don't talk about James' kids.
No, and like it's weird. Like they showed so little stuff. The fact we're this focused on the kid opener, it's weird. Like it's like what was like the big things? Well, there was the Nazi stuff with Wolfenstein, and Evil then looked cool, and then there was that weird part at the start where they showed a bunch of kids.
Yeah, the first few seconds I was kind of jarred for a second. I was like, wait, huh?
Well, especially because this is the studio just brought us Doom. Like, and then they went straight into Doom. Kind of. It's like, oh, we're going from kids to Doom. This isn't.
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
Grossly
The transition was
inappropriate.
kind of odd.
Oh, and
like-
I like their little like 1950s cartoon animation.
Yeah, that was really
that
good.
that was really good. I
Like-
like
like-
that.
Got
Okay,
to me after
okay.
a couple transitions.
Okay, I will give credit where credit is due. Bethesda put on a phenomenal presentation as far as like the whole theme park thing. That was good, legit. I liked it.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, you put a bow tie on shit. It's still
still-
shit.
it's
Still wearing a bow tie.
The Creation Club. It's
Yeah.
so great.
Oh, like
It's like what you can do for free, but we have to pay for it.
yeah, it's like you can breathe air, but we can charge you for premium air.
Oh, that's company air.
Hey, you know what? Bottled water, that worked.
That's true.
We
That
people,
Creation Club is the bottled water of the fucking video game industry.
No, that's loot boxes.
Well, there you go. But yeah,
Same
I mean,
point. I mean,
overall, yeah, like
yeah.
Their presentation was very top notch. I like the theme.
it had to be.
It was like right, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you have the kids like in the arms of an angel. You know, if you don't
All
buy
right,
this,
that's enough about Bethesda. Unless you,
Is
unless
that the
you
one
got,
where like we were the one we got tricked after with Devolver? I think.
So before we move
can we
on,
talk about fucking Devolver for a second?
before we move on, so do you got anything for us on Bethesda before we move on, Jeff?
There's a new Dishonored game.
Oh yeah,
Just-
I'm excited for it.
It's too
I still need
soon.
to play 2 though.
Just points to the fact that that presentation was so lackluster. I didn't even remember there was another Dishonored 3.
I'm kind of with Alex on that one. I wasn't totally sure what that was. I'm like, is it DLC? Is it a full game?
It's Creation
Looked
Club.
like a full game.
Dishonored.
It is a full game. I found out after the fact.
Yeah.
It's a full kind of side story. So
Let's kill the Outlander, the game. And
is that them ending Dishonored at that point?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about Devolver quickly?
Let's just quickly jump in. Like, what the fuck? Devolver.
That was exactly our
What
response.
the fuck happened?
So that's Devolver, but
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
I know they're
Devolver?
weird, but there is a line.
Well, so to be fair,
What's Devolver?
let's give context. Like, someone explain what we're talking about.
so this is the important part. Twitch hosted the pre E3 press conference featuring Devolver making a fine indie games like I think they're the guys behind I'm blanking on the name, Hotline Miami and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like
Oh, okay.
I think so.
if
yeah.
you're looking for kind of the it's gonna sound shitty, the more premium indie games out there, they're your boys.
Yeah, Hotline Miami.
They're your
They're kind of hovering between like a mainstream
they're a full-on
platformer.
publisher at this point,
Yeah,
but
and like
their
an
bread and
indie.
butter is indie stuff. and-
They're the Samuel Adams of developers.
yes, that's actually
That's a great
that's a
description.
weirdly appropriate metaphor. And
We're not quite a microbrewery,
Yeah.
but we're not quite the big boys.
still very much a microbrew and like craft beer, but we've got a
Everywhere.
huge network and we
national
deliver.
You
distribution.
could buy us in Alaska.
Yep.
yes, so that's actually a very good comparison for them. And Devolver's always done the weird thing. They hold like a protest conference across the street from E3 every year, which is just a barbecue in a parking lot, and they show off a bunch of indie games.
They did give away
which,
free food and beer.
Yes,
Oh.
that's Devolver's thing. Like, and
Damn. Hot
I take back
motherfucking
everything bad I
damn.
said about that.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I'll fill you
Sign
guys
me
in on
up for
part,
that
but
shit.
let's talk about their conference thing first.
So,
'cause, like,
in typical Devolver fashion, it was... Well, so here's the important thing. That wasn't even totally Devolver. That was Twitch Presents with Devolver. And I'm not sure how much of the original Twitch content you've watched. That stuff is fucking off the wall and not a good way. Like, I started watching it and I'm like, oh no, they made Devolver to Devolver. We've gone too far. We've become too self-referential. So, for those who didn't watch it, I got tricked into watching it initially because me and Jim were gonna stream over it, being like, okay, yeah, they're gonna show some games. But no, it's some girl shows up with a gun. It's like, fucking shut up, crowd. And I'm like, nope, we've been
Yeah, this
tricked.
is not real.
This is not a real press conference. We're gonna stop this. I'll come back to this later. And
yeah.
Devolver has every right to be weird. That I don't know what that was. It was just
Yeah. Again,
was
we go back to what's
some
the fuck?
dumb indie bullshit. As weird as that sounds, like as dismissive as that is, that's what it was. It's like, oh, we're so funny, and I'm like, you're really not.
And like it's too on the nose with like, oh yeah, you know, I'm showing up with a gun when this week you had an incident where like
Yeah.
someone was shot.
Yeah, that is true.
It was a little tone deaf. It was a little kind of like, we're edgy. And as someone in studios who also has the byline of, we're edgy, we've never done... Like, some of the stuff they were doing is just me sitting there going like, this is stuff that was cut from an Adult Swim show. Congratulations.
That's a great way to describe it. It was very Adult Swim. Like, oh yeah, that was so great in my early
We're
undergrad years.
on late.
Yeah. We're the like 12 a.m. night talk show where we can get away with edgy shit.
You want to say the word fuck? We can, because late.
But like, I mean, I'm sure they didn't know that was happening because I'm like that shooting this
Yeah.
week did happen. I think after the conference anyway. But like, I'm sure they couldn't have known that was coming. But like,
Yeah.
the topic of that stuff has been kind of on the nose.
But that's them. Like
Yeah.
they're all about that. Like, we're gonna be in your face with how edgy we are. Maybe you should tone it back a little, guys.
Yeah, it's like when things brand themselves as extreme. Like, okay, I get it. You're yogurt. There's only so much extreme you can get
Here's
with
the
yogurt.
dumb thing. I'd have been totally cool with a real press conference from Devolver. Like, hey, here's some indie games. I'd be like, tell me more about your indie games.
And it could have been like a weird real press conference.
Yeah.
But the key word in that is real.
I'm sorry, I watched the Ubisoft press conference. I watched a weird press conference, man. I was obviously open to that.
Yeah, that was some
Yeah.
like weird Russian opening
Well, so
Olympics
before we
bullshit.
move on, we done with Devolver?
Yeah.
I think so, but
Yeah.
I think that whole thing is just summarized with what the fuck.
Yeah, it's a weirdly good metaphor for E3 this year, too, where it was kind of like, what the fuck, guys?
Oh,
This wasn't what was advertised.
Touche. I like that comparison. That was good.
Yes, very
You got anything else on Devolver, Jeff?
I didn't see that conference because
Fair.
that wasn't a highlight video, so no.
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
So, Ubisoft.
Okay, can we talk about how Ubisoft openly like is aware of their new logo thing going on right now? Like,
I'm not aware enough.
Okay, I thought it was kind of funny. Like they can take a joke and I appreciate.
I
them
don't
for
think
that.
they can.
I think they can.
Oh, give me some background.
Okay,
here.
so Ubisoft recently announced their new logo.
Unveiled their new logo.
Unveiled it, and someone was like, "It looks like an aerial view of like poop,
Turd.
a turd, like it just kind of like swirled out."
Oh.
And they were like, and somebody on Reddit was like, somebody should make a 3D model of somebody, like of it tilting from the top down. And somebody with time and a 3D printer
Made it.
made it. And they showed the video and all that stuff. And Ubisoft, and I give them 100% credit, in a great sense of humor about themselves and are willing to kind of poke them at themselves, showed that video like, somebody revealed that our logo looks like poop. And the guy laughed about it. And then they showed that video. So at least they're like, it was kind of a little meta. But like I thought it was kind of funny. Like they were okay with making fun of themselves, and that was their
I
opener.
guess.
Like they showed different scenes of different stuff about Ubisoft and how much like it was great to work for Ubisoft. Like they had like the kids version of that as well. But
Okay,
like,
yeah.
but instead it was like the staff talking about like
I'm more okay with that because it's okay. We're Ubisoft employees.
and they're like when I told my dad I was gonna work for video games, he laughed at me, and it was a rough couple months. But
said,
then like,
haha, Vivendi's coming for you.
yeah, so it was like it was stuff like that, which is actually like a real thing. Like you hear about, it's become that like, hey, Dad, I'm going to become an art student kind of thing, and
Yeah.
people are like, there's no money in that, or there's nothing. in
Where
that.
did
Like,
I go wrong?
Yeah, it's that whole thing. Like when people say, oh, I'm going to work on video games, they're like, what do you do? Sit at home and play video games? And they're on the nose about it, and it was actually, I have to say, for that presentation, it was really nice. I enjoyed it because it was people being open and honest. It wasn't them peddling their kids kind of thing. Like it was very much like a, hey, I work in finance. There was a guy who was like, his major was in finance. He was going to work at a bank, like a big bank, and he chose to work as finance for video games, and now he's been there for a couple years kind of thing. It was
Yeah.
really cool. Like
Yeah.
I thought it was really nice. Good opener, and then they ended that with the little funny thing, poke at the logo, which is great, and that set up a great atmosphere for their presentation. But then it became the presentation,
And then Ubisoft happened.
and then
yeah,
Ubisoft
I-
happened.
Well, let's hear about it.
So I guess let's hit the big ones. Far Cry 5 looks real cool, and as someone who went into that being like, I'm only ironically into Far Cry 5 because all these people that are mad about it, that makes me want this just to piss you off. I now genuinely actually want Far Cry 5
Yes.
because it's like,
That's,
oh, this is actually some cool stuff you guys are doing.
Far Cry 5.
I'm intrigued.
Very powerful stuff. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, because again, it's right on the nose with like
Stuff.
home, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because they always show stuff that's like, oh yeah, we're in South America, we're here. It's
exotic, yeah.
This is right here at home. Home is the new exotic for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind
And
of
it's
not really
dealing
exotic,
in
it's the
a
new
very
kind of
it kind of
unsettling.
reflects the very chaotic world we live in here at home now.
So and people are going to be upset about it. Like I'm sure there was that controversy thing we talked about, which I thought was really stupid, and to this day I still think it's stupid, and I think it's a troll. But we agree to disagree on that one. But like it hits home, and I think that's like it's really good that they're willing to kind of touch that. And I would really hope video games are more willing to kind of touch on the home side of things.
I think
They're
some
always
are.
like,
I think the big difference is
It's
the
easy to make fun of someone halfway across the world
Yeah.
that can't like
Well-
scream at you back, but it does take some cojones, and it does kind of turn
The
the,
internet
mirror
big
on
dick.
society when you can make fun of home.
and they say video games are
Well,
art.
to be fair, it's not home. Ubisoft is Canadian.
Okay, well,
But they're
you
for
know what
us.
I mean. For us,
You could
it's
say
home.
Ubisoft is Americans.
Okay, well, I mean,
It's North America. I mean,
I
that
mean,
is you'll see
home
those.
for us, the United
Yes,
States.
Yeah.
I'm speaking from like
Yes, we are a large consumer of video games.
Yes.
We're one of the bigger markets. Yes, but I
Yeah.
not
I
the
think
biggest.
it's more. It's a very different setting. Like it's not historically the Far Cry games have taken place in kind of third world, if not less developed nations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This is a very developed, very familiar to most feeling place,
Mm-hmm.
kind of regardless of where you live. Like just because you don't live in Montana, doesn't mean you don't understand what.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's this romanticized idea of what a third world country is supposed to be. I'm sure it's chaotic, but like, no, this is your backyard.
Yeah.
And I think I really like the fact that they're willing to touch on that. And I really hope more games or more developers are willing to be open to that, because as a consumer, like,
It's interesting. Yeah,
I'm
it's-
open to
yeah.
that, and I would love to see something like that.
Especially outside the indie world, 'cause
Well,
you're
yes.
taking a big gamble when
Let's
you're.
take a step back. So long as it's done well, a
Yes,
lot of games
true.
have come out that have done this that have not dealt with it well. So, and this looks like it is on the right path to at least be a solid showing on that topic.
Yeah, no, that's
Like-
something I look forward to.
Yeah, do it like Far Cry 5. don't do it like Skyrim meets Colorado. Like,
or
Skyrim means
well, I'm
Colorado.
sorry, like an easy comparison is God, what was it called? Homefront.
Homefront, that was a great game too.
That was a terrible game.
I loved Homefront.
Oh, I vaguely
Or
remember
what was
that.
it? There was the other one where like you were like a resistance party in the United States because the Russians were taking
Freedom
over.
Fighter.
Freedom
Fighters. I love
Yes,
that game.
that was a great game.
That was a wonderful game. Yes.
Yes, and they
You lead
did
a bunch of New Yorkers to like
Yes.
yeah, where you control
Yeah.
8 people.
Russian front comes in. Red Alert 2, another game where they come.
Well, no wonder
to the United
Wolfen,
States.
you particularly like the new, not the New Order, the new Colossus.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
that they kind of dabble in that because it's
Yeah.
like holy shit, that's New York, but like not how it is.
I know.
It's something else. Like, it's something familiar that's being told as a different thing, which is really cool. Like Freedom Fighters was phenomenal. Even though for its time it was great. I loved it. It was cool. Again, Red Alert 2. It was at home. You weren't fighting the Russians on their soil. I mean, parts of it you were, but you were fighting at home.
Yeah.
Washington
Yeah.
D.C. gets destroyed in one of the first
I mean,
stages. Like,
Even games like the Fallout series, like I like the fact that they
Yeah.
take place in alternate versions of here.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, Far Cry 5 doing that, 100% behind it.
Yeah, it beyond kind of the fun social commentary, the stuff that they're going for,
Mm-hmm.
it actually looks like a fresher Far Cry, which I could not say about 4.
The last Far Cry I enjoyed was Blood Dragon, and I've said this several times in
Yeah.
our previous podcast. Because of that goofy 80s shit, which I really like.
No, yeah.
So, like, have you played Blood Dragon?
No, I haven't.
It's like a weird 80s... Like, if you take all the cheesy 80s action movies with, like, cyborgs and all that stuff and put it in
Kung
dinosaurs-
Fury.
And yeah, Kung Fury, and you put it in one game, that's what you have. And it wasn't even like a full game. It was a full game in its own, but it was like a weird side thing for Far Cry 3, was it?
Yep.
Yeah. And I think it was better than 3, personally.
that's really cool.
Different.
I liked it. But
See, I
You're
never.
playing
The,
that
the
they were
first,
very different games.
yes.
The first Far Cry I played was 4, so
Okay.
to me that was really cool.
Yeah, 4 was bad.
Yeah, you owe it to
But
yourself
if you-
to try Blood Dragon, though.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
Far Cry 5 looks good. What else do we have? Oh,
We had Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed.
Pyramids.
Or we don't really know what an Assassin's Creed game is, so it's kind of now like
Dude, it's
Rainbow
killing throughout history.
I'm glad they got drunk, went off the rails, and started implementing mythical beasts.
Yeah,
At least
I want to see how far back
this
they
is
go in history.
this is what I've wanted from this series.
Cry
From this
Mesopotamia.
series, this whole historical nonsense. Nah, man, give me fucking dragons and shit.
I want to see, like, Assassin's Creed, Pangea.
You're like, fine.
Just go
It's
way
like-
back.
It's like
the
it's
hood
like the
started when we were one continent. Like,
it's like the Flintstones with like a kid assassination.
yeah, like fucking Fred Flintstone is like your assassin target, and he's at the fucking bowling alley getting his last
Fair.
strike, and then all of a sudden, like, what happened? Barney, no.
Little like swinging off the vines parkour.
Yeah,
Sleep now.
Okay. Yeah, like,
I was making that joke
Who was
earlier
Fred
that like
Flintstone's
Charlie was like,
boss who was
remember
a
Far Cry
dick?
Primal?
yeah,
Like I guess people. would-
Assassinate that guy.
yeah. But like, I mean, I'm personally kind of over the Assassin's
No, and
Creed
that's
games.
just it. Like, it's as someone who's played a lot of Ubisoft games lately, that game did not look like an Assassin's Creed game anymore. And because you now kind of have Far Cry, which kind of is like Rainbow Six, which now apparently is kind of like Assassin's Creed, which is kind of like Far Cry, they have now successfully made kind of 3 different versions of games that feel a little too similar now for my taste. And
They've homogenized them.
no, and that's just it. Like, it's the
The
I do
Linkin
not.
Park of video games.
Yeah, I do not like the
All the
Ubisoft.
songs-
Nickelback.
All the songs sound the same.
No, that's the weird thing. Is I do not like the Ubisoft open world formula all that much. I think it's actually a pretty bad open world formula. But
It's linear progression disguised as open world. It feels like.
yeah, but at the same time, like there was something about Assassin's Creed that I liked because it had this emphasis on history. But now they seem to be kind of losing that, where it's like, oh, we got bow moves and eagle vision, actually in an eagle, and it's
It's like we're running out of history, guys.
You're a warg,
There's
Harry.
only so far back we can
Yeah.
go.
the text only goes so far back.
it's not even the same.
We only have 2 more 3,000
Eventually, we're
years.
going to
There's no written
predate the
history
evolution
anymore.
of the
Just
eagle.
have to kind of wing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think the exotic worlds could have been done well,
I have
but
nothing against the setting. That's what I'm saying. I have nothing against
I see what you're
Egypt.
saying. They're kind of losing what they're about.
Yeah, like the Assassin's Creed games at their base were about parkour and stabbing dudes in the neck.
I thought it's about a company that like is using you as a virtual
That
reality
too.
tool.
Here we go.
They go back in time.
So Jim just once again confirmed that the ultimate in Assassin's Creed technology is fucking 4, because that's when Abstergo becomes the gaming giant that it becomes.
Well, so let's use 4 to jump off now. You know how I've always said Ubisoft should just make a pirate game?
and they did.
And they did, and maybe they shouldn't have done that, because it does not look great. It's called Skull and Bones, I believe, or something like that, and
It looked okay.
it looked okay for like $20.
Well, I'm gonna get it for free, so I don't know.
Yes. If that game launches at 60, I think that's a little much for that game.
Wait,
It
you're
is
getting it for
boat
free.
combat.
Explain your technology.
Wait, is Skull and Bones the one where you can load yourself into the cannon? and
No,
fire?
that's
Sea of Thieves.
that's Sea of Thieves.
Okay,
Sea of Thieves.
there you go. See, so I don't remember Skull and
They all
Bones.
go together.
Skull and Bones is pretty forgettable. It had some real cool boat shots. It's like, hey, boats, and I'm like, hey, I wanted this, and turns out I do not.
Yeah.
Boat combat. It's as exciting as a first-person shooter. In
Maybe
World
I
War
just
I.
want to be Edward Kenway some more. Like, maybe you should do more of that.
Boats and hoes. Boats and hoes.
Basically, yeah.
I'm watching the
Beyond-
trailer now because I
Did they
haven't
announce
seen this
like
one 'cause I didn't
anything
watch
like
EA.
Watch Dogs related or okay?
No.
Oh, sorry, Ubisoft.
So Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a thing. It's not clear exactly how much it has to do with the original Beyond Good and Evil, but
It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
it's coming out sometime in the future. I don't think it's real. I think they showed off a cool trailer.
I don't think it's real, but there was a trailer, so maybe it'll be like.
There was some
around.
gameplay out there. There's some stuff.
Yeah.
They've successfully showed off zero of what that game actually is. So, as far as I'm concerned, I'm like, hey, cool monkey video.
Yeah.
You had Just Dance have the most efficient showing ever, where it's like, hey, Just Dance coming to the Wii still. Wii out. Here's a melting
Wii out.
panda.
It's all about that efficiency.
Yeah. And probably the big news of the show is the Mario Rabbids game.
Well, I mean, in name, yes. But
It's
there's been
XCOM with Mario.
Wait,
That's what it is.
wait.
Yeah.
Alex started this podcast being like, "I have good news for Jeff. Rabbids is coming to a console Jeff doesn't own."
Okay.
This is where I demand an explanation at this moment.
Okay. So far, everyone who's played it says it's actually really fun to play.
Yeah, it looks solid.
Like it's not like I mean, it's goofy as hell.
Is it $60 solid or is it?
I don't know if it's $60 solid.
Okay.
Is
But-
anything really $60 solid anymore?
I would say a few things are $60 solid.
Maybe.
But I would say that number gets less. and less.
of War.
Yeah.
It's
but-
like pay $60 and then pay more for
Yeah.
your user mods.
Yeah. Or like, but it actually, everyone I've talked to who got a chance to play it
Yeah, I've heard it's good.
is good. I've gotten nothing but good feedback from that game. Okay. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Because, like, I'm sure I watched it and I was like, it looks kind of weird, and why would Mario lend themselves out? By the way, during the press conference, you had freaking Mr. Nintendo himself walk
Yeah,
right on out.
that was a surprise. He had the
Yeah.
Mario gun because, Mario is strapped now. He's ready for war, so
Oh, he apparently ends up in New York in Odyssey, so of course
we'll
he's
get to
strapped.
that.
But anyway,
It's Donk City, first off.
okay.
Pauline is the mayor.
Just like Liberty City is not New York, right?
Totally
Wink.
different. You can drive in Liberty City.
Yeah. But it looks, it looks goofy, but I've gotten nothing but good feedback. From
I
it,
will
so I'll
use
give it a
my
shot.
catchphrase I use too often. It looks better than it should be. Like, that's, as someone who hates the Rabbids as a character, I'm looking at that game going, okay, yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
Yeah.
I own a Switch. Why
You've
not?
heard good stuff about it. I mean, I'm open to trying it.
yeah. So I think it should get a shot, but
Yeah.
it's one of those weird ones where it's like, you don't expect it to be really, really good, and then it might exceed expectations.
Dude, that happens to me all the time. I was like, oh my god, like tablets, they will never do great. Why would I want to get something that's like a laptop but does less? Oh my god, I need to have a fucking tablet.
Yeah.
Or like the Smash Brothers games, when that first came out in the mid-90s or late 90s, I was like, oh, that's
I'm sorry, no one was confused. Smash would be good.
Smash looked like it was good. I think if I were going to make a comparison, I'd think it's the Guardians of the Galaxy of games right now.
Sure.
People didn't really expect much from the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was kind of good.
Yeah.
So, can't say too much about the second one, but the first one was really, like...
Second one's okay.
Second one's right. The second one's like the first one.
Yeah.
It looks
I like the
goofy,
second
and that's
one.
what you want.
Yeah, it's not a game that comes out goofy pretending to be a serious game. It's self-aware of what type of game it is. And so it's like, okay, cool, as long as that elephant's out of the room and we're not like pretending to be something we're not, let's move on. I'm completely or whatever.
Sure.
Let's just move on. But yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
So
Ready to move on to Sony?
Is that
Well-
for Ubisoft?
no, I got one more for
Okay.
Ubisoft.
Oh, okay.
South Park Fractured But Whole.
Who cares?
I am excited for it.
Who cares? That game's been delayed 3 times. It should be out already. Matt and Trey didn't even bother showing up. We're not talking about that one.
Someone's bitter.
Someone's
Not bitter,
as
just
hell.
realistic at this point. Like,
okay.
that game has missed its window to be exciting to me by so much.
I mean, that's true. South Park doesn't carry the same kind of like value that it did.
Beyond that, I love the first one. That first one is great, but something about this
Was that
second one,
the wand of
the Stick of Truth. Yeah.
Stick of Truth,
Like
yeah.
they keep showing stuff about this one, and I keep going, this does not look as good as the first one.
I've heard good things about
They've
it. too.
changed the battle system.
Yeah, the battle system's been changed out a little bit, but I didn't get a chance to play it because the lines were ridiculous for this one. But
Yeah.
it was I heard good feedback about it. Like the opening scene is you going to like a strip club because you're looking for a stripper, and there's like
Okay.
titties on the screen and all that. Like, that's the opener. So I'm
funny.
like, wow.
If you want titties on the screen, play Grand Theft Auto 5.
yeah, I know, but like,
Or Pornhub.
Yeah.
there you go. Thank you, John.
It's a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just kind of like I love the first one.
Yeah, again, if this had been 2 years after the first one, I'd be like, fucking yeah, the time is now. But now I've had enough time where I'm like, I've played Persona 5 since then, and you've reminded me what a kick-ass turn-based RPG is in that time. And now it's like, yeah, this is funny and all, but, I'm now judging it based on a gameplay standard because I played an RPG recently. An actual one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the long lines are pretty reflective that it seems that
No,
it's
it's
gonna...
not. No, it's absolutely not.
No.
It's
I'm not
just
saying it's
popular.
reflective that it's going to be good. I'm reflective that it's going to have a pretty good hype.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna
hype
have
is
that because
worthless.
because it's South Park.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like, I don't want to romanticize it, and I know I am. Like, I'll be upfront. I know I'm romanticizing the idea of South Park Fractured But Whole only because I love the first one so much.
Yeah.
So I will be upfront with my bias. So that's why I'm looking forward to it. Am I ready to be disappointed? Probably not.
Prepare to
But-
cry.
But if it happens, I will be the first to admit to Charlie that I am absolutely wrong.
And I don't
about
like
it.
being right about this. It's just it feels like they're kind of pushing it out at this point. Like it feels like it's a little bit written off. And like if it had come out last year, I'd be way
There
less
was this
cynical.
apartment we had a few years ago that we had them ride. We forgot about them, and then they just finished this. We were like, oh, oops.
Well, so that's the thing. Like the first one had development hell issues happen. The second one also had development hell issues happen. Like this has gone from like, okay, games are hard to the fuck is going on, guys? Like yeah.
You just feel like it's being pushed out like a Christmas turd.
A little bit, yeah.
We need
Okay,
to fill
Mr.
this season
Hankey.
with something.
Hey,
Combat
Chef got the reference.
Oh, I got it too. I just didn't find it funny.
Ooh. All right.
But yeah, so
Say,
like I said,
the most basic knowledge of South Park right there.
So I will make a promise right here and now that if this game is fucking terrible, I will be the first to admit to Charlie that.
I don't think it'll be terrible. I just don't think it will live up to the hype.
Okay. And
I
like
think
said,
it will be solid
I will-
enough, but I don't think it's like. That's the thing. I love the first South Park game. That's only an okay game. Like the writing is great. The story is a
It's South
a
Park.
10-hour long episode of South Park somehow kind of situation.
Yeah.
Like the gameplay for that game though was weirdly passable.
Yeah.
But they're changing it because
Let's see
reasons.
how far do you think the hype to awesome gameness ratio is it going to be like No Man's Land hype to awesomeness?
No Man's
gap?
Sky?
No Man's Sky. Is it going to be that big of a
That's-
discrepancy?
that's a lot of hype.
That's a lot
of hype to
of
deliver
ground.
content.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's we're not going to see that type of discrepancy for many years to come. I don't
Hopefully
think.
not.
We're reaching Duke Nukem Forever levels with that.
jeez.
No, that's not even fair to Duke Nukem Forever. That was kind of a joke of
past.
itself.
Yeah, that game
No one
was-
expected that game to be good.
Yeah.
I did.
You heard it
And-
here. Alex expected Duke Nukem Forever to be good. Judge all his opinions accordingly now.
Yep.
All right.
Hey, I'll own up to it. I'm not gonna shy away from that opinion if it was an unpopular opinion. I'll own it. So, yeah. And I even bought the collector's edition of that.
I know.
And I keep the statue the Duke Nukem statue, as a forever token of my shame. So,
All right.
it is my scarlet letter.
So that's it for Ubisoft, though?
Yeah, I think so.
Think
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Say, I just want to point out a man wearing a romper just said he keeps around something to remind him of what shame is.
Good point.
Understand that there are levels of shame I have yet to not attain yet. So,
Fair.
True.
Right.
So ignoring the obvious technical issue to my right, Nintendo.
Nintendo, you know what? Nintendo was like, I don't know if the phrase is correct, a dark horse in this one, because
I was ready to give Nintendo the win of E3, like they had the best press conference, until I had time to sit back and think about it. And after a little bit of time, I realized they didn't show shit except Mario.
well, that's the one thing that people were expecting to see.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
they hit their expectation note pretty, like, they hit it pretty high.
Yeah, like
I don't think so. That's the thing. Like, it's if you announce, hey, the only thing we're going to show is Mario, even if it's a damn intriguing Mario, you don't get to act like you knocked it out of the park. When your press conference or your spotlight is 30 minutes long and contains nothing except, hey, this game comes out next year, or in the case of Metroid Prime 4, this game is in development, no release date whatsoever, which for all purposes, that could just be them saying, hey, we're going to pretend to make a Metroid Prime 4 for a little while.
Well, I mean, I guess people kind of weren't expecting too much originally. Yeah. I mean, thinking about it like that, like it makes sense. Like, yeah, they announced. Well, they did announce 2 Metroid games: the Return of Samus, which is
Not part of the spotlight though, as part of the after stuff.
Okay, but yeah, I mean, the Metroid Prime thing, people obviously they hit all the right marks for fanboys.
Yes,
we'll give them that.
It was a show for fanboys.
Yes, it was. So, like, if you're already a Nintendo
Their bread and butter.
fanboy, you got hit with the full load of bread and butter.
But
like
I
Jeff
feel
said.
like that's kind of, with the exception of, like, I mean, all of them kind of do that. Like, everybody's like, Destiny, all the Destiny fanboys are like, woo.
Well, yeah, but, like,
everyone's like,
I think the difference is Destiny isn't a console. Destiny is one game. Nintendo is a company and it needs to make games that sell to more than just their fan base. And don't get me wrong, that Super Mario Odyssey or Mario Odyssey, whatever the hell it's actually called, is the first Mario game maybe ever I thought, hey, that looks kind of cool, I'm probably going to play that. It achieved that by being the least Mario game ever, but
it, like, mechanics wise and all that stuff, it looks really cool. Like, I like the way it looks. There's some interesting kind of stuff they're introducing and whatnot, like taking more chances with it. But, like, it looks like a solid game. And then they're like, well, we need to let people know that we're still doing other stuff, like you were saying. So, hey, Metroid Prime is coming out. By the way, we're also developing another Pokemon RPG, but it's going to be for the consoles.
that was some fucking bullshit. That was oh shit, people are pissed, we're making a video to slide in there quickly. Like, they do not have anything planned yet. That was like, guess we gotta do this now.
Hey, here's one guy at his desk saying there's a lofty, imagine a Pokemon game for the Switch, and it's coming. Get hype.
Yeah,
I think.
it's got the patented soon kind of thing on there.
I mean, that being said, if you're going to make a Pokemon game for a console, for Nintendo, the Switch is probably the...
No, this isn't a probably. That's what they're selling now. Like
That's what they should be
That's what they
pushing and
should be. It's like giving them credit for supporting the thing they just fucking put out is like congratulating a parent for not drowning their kid. That's your job,
see what you're
not
saying.
to fucking drown your
You're saying
kid.
it wasn't hyped enough. That
It's like one of those people who are like, I take care of my kids. Like, that's your job. That's
That's
what
what you're fucking
supposed
supposed to do. Like, the fact that they had this whole, like, oh, we have a special direct focusing on Pokemon, and they're like, hey, here's all this new Pokemon stuff coming, to the old shit. Like, that little segment of their little spotlight reeked of, man, you guys were pissed last week. Hey, we're making one for the Switch. It's like, no, that's not impressive. That's what you should have announced last week with all the fucking other Pokemon stuff. Like, I'm sure there are reasons, but there's not a good reason Pokemon Sun and Moon, or Pokemon Sun and Moon Ultra or Omega or Solar Power bullshit, whatever that thing's actually called, isn't coming to the Switch.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it does kind of feel like a fan service moment for sure.
I don't care.
And it is kind of a bullshit move, but it worked. Like, that's the sad thing. It worked.
They shouldn't be announcing anything at this point that isn't coming to the Switch.
They did announce that Monster Hunter XX is coming out for the Switch, and then they're like, by the way, it's not coming out in the U.S.
Yeah, and
Which I thought was fucking hilarious!
So more on that in a couple minutes, because that
announced
don't matter
in a
anymore.
conference in the United States to your largest, if I'm correct, market, the North American market.
Not necessarily with Monster Hunter. As much as I love the Monster Hunter
don't think it just wouldn't
franchise,
sell
and
well.
more on that is a Japan fucking loves that game.
Yeah.
Game.
But, like, there are people in the U.S. who want it. And,
Me,
like,
yeah, yes.
exactly. And they're like, so
Well,
we're
not anymore,
announcing this,
but-
and it's cool. By the way, we're not selling in the U.S. Like, wait, what?
Well, we'll get to the other Monster Hunter.
It's the same Monster Hunter. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
So-
why I'm saying not me anymore. Like, I don't give a we got Triple Cross coming out for Nintendo stuff. Who cares anymore?
They are a limited intellectual property console that just kind of keeps on building off. Like I saw
Nintendo's the Apple of the console world, I feel like.
No, because Apple sells
I
shit.
disagree.
Apple's not in the process of trying to recover from a catastrophic
Well,
all-time low.
They're Apple before the iPhone, I feel like. They're
Apple was doing fine before the
shit.
iPhone.
Apple
They were
was
doing-
Like, their laptops and their stuff was doing
could be wrong.
fine.
it was
could be
really the
wrong.
iPod that really put them back in.
Yeah, the iPod came before the iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I guess in the sense that, like,
if you're talking like Apple back in the clamshell laptop
that's
era,
what I'm referring to, like,
you mean the
clamshell.
90s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
Back
I'm
when
referring
Nintendo was doing good?
to. Yeah.
Well, it's like, okay, we've kind of been pushing our golden days, like, you know, like it's like you said, Apple, like they were talking about like, oh, the Macintosh and all the great stuff from the '80s, and they're like, it's a different era, guys. Come on, I mean, you gotta kind of push something.
Yeah,
new.
and it just feels a little weird. Like,
there's like, how many Mario games and Zelda games can you like put out?
there's
No, that's the thing. That's exactly what they should be doing. Like, Nintendo has one thing going for it: beloved IPs. That is literally the only
Yeah.
thing they have going for them at this point.
I see what you're saying. So they should milk that.
That's all. No, that's not. It's not milking it. Like it's the.
It's
If
supporting
you-
it.
okay. Well, yeah.
If you're Ferrari, you make sports cars. Why? Because that's what Ferrari does.
Yeah.
If you're Nintendo, you make Nintendo games. The issue is they need to come out for the new thing. That's they'd be like Ferrari going, yeah, we have this new awesome
that is
car.
weird. I did think that was weird when the Switch came out. I'm like, wait, you're releasing the Switch and you don't have a Mario game on the
that was
Switch?
very odd, and I know
Yes.
Charlie made a big point about that.
It's
And
coming
like,
out in the first year. Like I'm gonna backtrack on that some. Like it's coming out in the first year.
Yeah,
of
but I
thing
mean that
being
should be
out.
like one of the opening titles.
Yes.
Like
Well-
if you are the IP guy, like if that beloved IPs, why aren't that like? Why do you have like one game on the Switch?
because I think people were more willing to dick ride Zelda than they were Mario.
Well, and they weren't willing to dick ride Zelda. They were willing to dick ride the fact this Zelda game had been in development for like 5-6 years.
for
I think
fucking ever?
It was
Yeah.
supposed to come out on the Wii U as an exclusive at one point, and it got pushed.
Yeah, but like, I mean, back to the point. I think it's a valid point about the whole like, you know, a Nintendo game should have been out on release for the Switch, but we did get the Milk Cow game, thing, which was really cool.
It's got dumb motion gimmicks. Like that's fine. Like, and
Yeah.
again, it's like they have stuff coming out in the year. The issue is they keep announcing stuff for the old stuff. And I'm not saying it can't go to the old stuff. Like that's fine in my opinion. but you can't keep putting out stuff people want and have this like. It would be like Sony releasing games for the PS3 still at this point.
Well, like, okay, and this goes back to my Apple comparison. Nintendo has the equivalent to Apple fanboys, where no matter what they do, they will have a market that will always buy their shit.
Yes.
Like, they're pretty similar. Like, you can release another Pokemon game for an older generation handheld console, and people will still be like, fuck yeah, I want it. No matter what.
I think that's starting to wear
dedicated brand
the dedicated
loyalty.
brand loyalist is what I'm referring to. I guess just to go back on that point. Like, that's what I mean. Like, you will always have that market.
And I don't think you're wrong. I think the issue is the brand loyalists are starting to get fed up with it. Because even me, who like, if a Pokemon game comes out, I'm fucking buying it because I love the Pokemon games.
Yeah.
Oh, releasing
The
Sun
Wii
Moon
U
Ultra, and
also
I'm like,
burned the shit out of their brand loyalists.
yes, I think that's it. Like,
I know a brand loyalist. He is burned by that fucking Wii U.
Yeah, it's the Wii U is a problem for them because the Wii U had a pretty strong, like, they got Bayonetta 2, it got all this stuff, it had like all these HD up-reses of a bunch of Wii games. It's like, yeah, this thing's gonna go the distance, and it then trickled off. And we keep hearing, oh, there's these Switch shortages and all this stuff's going on. I said this time and time again, I'm not convinced the shortages are actually real.
You mean that they're deliberately not producing enough just to...
I'm sorry, they did that with the
PlayStation,
the Classic, the Nintendo Classic. Like, that thing was deliberately shorted.
Well, like, you know, I was there's a YouTuber, Video Game Donkey, and one of my favorite things that he said about the Nintendo conference was Nintendo does not know how to market video games. They don't know how to, like, I guess, sell that stuff, but they know how to make them.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. They're good at making video games. That's what they're good at. Everything else, when it comes to, like, the business of it, like, the marketing stuff, they don't... Who the fuck did they hire to do that stuff? Because, like,
I think that's kind of recent, because, I mean,
No, they've
post
never
Wii,
been good at it.
Dude, the
No.
Wii blew everyone out of the
No,
water.
the
back.
Wii didn't blow people out of the water. Wii Sports did. People talk about the Wii like it was some fantastic thing. It had one game people liked.
and Wii U had Smash Brothers, and that's pretty much... Like, I bought it for a Smash Brothers simulator, pretty much, is what I needed it for.
No, and that's the thing. It's people spend a lot of time talking about, oh, the Wii was a great success. Financially, the Wii was a great success. As a console,
No.
it
I'm
was
talking
a
about
train
going
wreck.
along his lines of, like, marketing. I mean, that was their one thing. Somehow something happened, and they just started making terrible decisions on that regard.
The
starting with the Wii
GameCube
U.
wasn't a great decision.
The GameCube was, again, another Smash Brothers simulator box. I mean, there are some good games here and there.
Yeah.
But, like, anybody who I
But
know
those weren't
owns a
marketed
GameCube...
well.
Yeah. Anybody who owned a GameCube owns it for Smash Brothers.
That's true. That's what I
I
had
liked
it
my
for.
GameCube, but
Yeah, and I mean, there wasn't anything wrong with it. It's just, that's like... When I think of GameCube, I think of, like, oh, who's got Smash?
yeah.
You know, like, you got Smash? Like,
Well,
oh, of
so
course
talking
you do.
about Smash, no Smash.
I know.
Even though the fact that it would be an obvious thing to port because they're already doing, they've already done the legwork of here's how you port a Wii U game to the Switch with Super Mario 8.
Do they have another Nintendo Direct
And
at some
Poké-
point this year?
Many. They have one like almost every other week, at least once a month. Like,
Okay. Well, you're expecting
Yeah,
them to
but this is when
I'm
you announce that shit.
I'm coming around. I'm definitely seeing that, like what you're saying, Alex, with like their marketing. They don't have the analogous services that the Microsoft or Sony have for their like game streaming. They don't have.
No. They don't
It
have...
is bizarre to release a console without your beloved IPs on at least 2 or 3 of them on release.
Nintendo has this magical superpower where they can release a console with bare bone features that like other consoles are like, we got all this extra fluff and all this stuff to make ourselves really good, guys. Like when Xbox announced the leaderboard stuff and the esports stuff and all that. Like, plus we're doing crossplay between Windows and Xbox. Like they go out of their way to give you all this shit, and Nintendo's like, we got Mario, and he's got a hat that turns you
And
into
people just go batshit crazy.
because of the brand loyalist.
Yeah.
We like literally. Have you seen their
But now they're not
voiceover
even-
IP setup? That fucking train wreck of a system they have set up.
Huh?
The thing where you have to use your phone plus a headset.
The choice chat.
Like,
services.
why the fuck would I do that when I can just call you on Skype or get on Discord and we
yeah.
can go from there? Why? Why would I pay this amount of money to do this for the service?
Well, you get some free games out of it,
but like
kind of.
the
but
features, like the stuff like that, like that's what I mean. Like they can put out bare bones shit, and people will still be like, "But dude, it's Zelda. But
So,
dude,
and-
it's Mario.
So, and that's the thing. I think it's eventually someone is going to make not Mario, but like someone else's version of Mario, and that's when you're gonna start having some problems for Nintendo.
Those are big shoes to fill. As much as like it'd be cool to see like Nintendo somehow get riled up in that sense, I don't ever see it happening. Like as long as Nintendo keeps certain fanboys happy with like the stuff like they say.
So, and
announce
to get
Prime.
real morbid, those fanboys are gonna start dying eventually.
Well, they have kids, and
They're not refreshing the kids the way they used to. Like it.
damn millennials not having enough kids.
No, it's not that. It's the fact that like
many.
they're into Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
you have an entire group of kids growing up with stuff where it's like to be blunt, I don't like Nintendo stuff as much as many other people because I didn't really get access to it till much later on in life. So it's like, oh, remember playing this on the Nintendo? No, I don't. I didn't have that happen until I was in my like teenage years, and by then I owned other stuff that's like, no, the graphics are better. That's oddly what I care about at this point in time. I can go up and down, not just side to side.
Yeah. It's very much one of those
Strafe.
situations where, like, I guess I don't think Nintendo really knows where they're going at this point.
No, and I think
And
that's
they're-
absolutely correct.
And it's like they're kind of just like we walked into a room and people just started listening to me, and it's like, oh fuck, now I'm in charge. What?
Pokemon.
Pokemon. Oh,
No, that's what I'm saying. Like that,
Mario.
The announcement of hey, we're making a Pokemon game has
Paperboy
that
now.
feeling of like, oh, people are mad. You're about to say something though, Jeff.
I was.
I don't know. You made a sound.
but yeah, it's very much one of those like 'cause
News
even
to me.
was it there was somebody who showed me this thing that like I guess one of the guys who ended up being a game director for Nintendo or an art director or something like that. Or yeah, he used to draw the game art for the manuals.
Yeah.
And he just kind of like, this is kind of weird. Why don't they do this? He walked into the dev offices and now he's a fucking game developer. Like, he just had some questions about some of the art stuff. Like, it was just kind of weird. It's that guy. That guy is the practice of Nintendo. He just kind of walked in, didn't really know what's happening, and people kind of believed him.
We're being a little harsh on Nintendo. Like, let's rein it back for a couple seconds. That Mario game looks real cool.
It does. I criticize because I love.
Yes.
Like, let me make that point. I'm not just shitting on Nintendo to shit on Nintendo.
You can mind control
I
a
might.
T-Rex.
Yeah. You can become a frog, and then you can become a Goomba and make a stack of Goombas, kind of thing. Like I'm not shitting on them just to shit on them. Like it's
Oh, no, we do that frequently. That's the issue.
true. You know,
You can see the potential, and you see them not
you
using
know,
it.
it's I feel like
that-
Obi-Wan looking at Anakin at the fire pit, like you were the chosen one. Like you hurt me so with Jar Jar. Like why? You know, but like I don't know. Like I really hope somewhere in there's a sense of direction found because it just kind of feels like they're scattered. Maybe that's just me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but like
No, I agree. I mean, it's gonna eventually hit their wallets. I mean, or it will, and then they're gonna eventually be like, okay, we need to have a direction, and they're probably gonna go back to the beloved IPs.
well, they're always going to go back to the beloved IPs.
I know, but they're not
That's
doing
all
that
they
now.
have.
Yeah, but I mean,
Unless they come up with something really incredibly innovative.
yeah.
Yeah.
But all directions and anything else aside, the new Mario does look really
Yeah,
good.
it's
Charlie hit the nail on the head on that.
that game
one.
looks
Like,
real cool. Like that's the first Mario ever to make me go, okay, yeah, I want to play that actually because it looks weird in a way I can kind of get behind.
Yeah, and it looks really like it just looks really fun, and it looks like it looks like a breath of fresh air for the Mario franchise itself.
Yeah, and on top of that, like I like Kirby. Kirby's my favorite Nintendo character. I'm getting a Kirby game on the Switch. Mm-hmm. Yay! At the same time, it's Kirby. You know how you make a bad Kirby game?
On the Switch.
No, you don't make it a Kirby game. Like it's
Ah.
like no, this is what Kirby games consist of.
Yeah. So I mean,
No, the
that
Yoshi
being
Arts and
said-
Crafts thing looked cute. I'm digging they're continuing the kind of abnormal graphics style. Like that's neat that they're doing that, but like it's the way the Pokemon announcement was handled and the fact that like, hey, we're doing Metroid Prime 4, but all we show you is something like some art student could bang out in a night to reveal it, and we don't even have a release date on it. We just say in development. Like that's I would almost bet money that game doesn't actually ever come out. Or it doesn't actually come out to the next Nintendo console.
Oh.
Like that game feels like the new Breath
No
of
one's
the
gonna
Wild.
challenge you on that.
You know what? I don't want to take that bet. I don't. Like, as much as I would love to see where that goes, I don't feel comfortable making that bet because I just don't trust Nintendo to the point where I'm like, no, they'll do it. They'll do
Yeah,
it.
that thing feels like the new Breath of the Wild, where it's like, hey, we heard what you wanted, and you wanted Metroid Prime 4. Yay! It's coming. Yay! Eventually. No!
Like, I can imagine after the conference, like, all right, guys, we did it. The conference is done. Whew, fuck, they
Guess we
bought
gotta
it.
make
Like,
that Metroid game now. We just announced it.
Yeah, so hey, can somebody clear some
Made some
space over in
promises
the
we don't know
developer
how to
studio?
keep.
We got a couple new games to make, guys. Like,
By the way, we're hiring at Nintendo for making a new Metroid Prime game.
yeah, what are you hiring for?
Metroid Prime.
Metroid Prime? Like, really, what kind of positions?
All of them.
Everything? Like, you guys have a game director? Do you want to be the game director? What
Are
do
you
you do?
a game director? Do you like Metroid?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you're now out of the Metroid
Right? There
Prime
you go.
department.
There you go.
Are you the Axiom Verge guy?
I can see like a great movie being made about that.
Yeah,
That's
just a bunch of dudes who walk in at the
It's
right
like,
times.
it's like this ragtag misfits hired by Nintendo.
Yeah, and they're just like, I don't
made in
know.
a Metroid game.
And then people were just like, genius, I don't know how they do it. And people were like, I don't know what we did, but okay. all
I'm
right,
just
let's
delivering
keep-"
pizza.
Right? Yeah.
I was just a homeless man that lived right by them.
That's what it's going to be like. It's going to be like the weird successes on successes. Somebody made a deal with the devil at Nintendo.
Okay, so let's take it back a step. The point of E3 is to sell stuff. They showed off more of that rabbit stuff. The big thing Nintendo wants to sell right now are more Switches. I own a Switch, and I left the press conference going, or I ended the press conference going like, maybe I'll buy that new Pokken game. Probably not, because I already own it for the Wii U.
Yeah.
That Mario game looks pretty cool, but
It didn't seize you.
what did it feel? Do you have more reasons to buy a Switch now, any of you?
No.
I do, only for the sole reason that I don't have any of those other games on the Wii U. And so if I'm going to own a Nintendo console, I'm going to buy the games that are already out. Even though I already have a Wii U, I'm going to buy them on the Switch only
Sure.
because I don't own them already. But if I was in your situation where I already had them on the Wii U, I wouldn't spend any money on it.
Gotcha. No, that's fair.
Yeah, and I mean, on the plus side, at least if I'm buying it on the Switch, I will be getting all that DLC stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's the only reason I keep looking at Pokken going like, man, that penguin looks real cool.
Ah, I see what you did there. Penguin,
not intentional,
ice,
but-
cool,
Not
very
intentional. Not intentional.
Nice. Welcome to the Pun Club.
Oh, God. Any thoughts on this, Jeff, or nah?
So for Nintendo, I know, or there really isn't anything they've brought to the table that's going to make me revisit my ideas of buying a Switch, which is basically, it comes down to a Wii U will get me Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
I do think that it was a good idea of them to make more content for Breath of the Wild because more money. And then I also wrote down, I really hope that, because they announced, was it the Fire Emblem games coming out too?
Oh, yeah, that Dynasty Warriors Fire Emblem game, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Because
missed
my
that.
roommate, we'd sit in our living room and I'd play Persona 5 and he'd play Fire Emblem, and then we would voice act all of the shitty dialogue from that game because it's so, like, crazy.
Well, so
And it's just so much fun, just like, "Huh, I'm here to protect you, brother son." Like, oh no, brother, don't get killed by that guy.
So
Hi,
I
I'm
got good
Captain
and bad news
Jackoff.
for you, Jeff. That game is like a Dynasty Warriors version of, or it's Dynasty Warriors with the characters of the Fire Emblem franchise. So maybe you'll get more of that, because if there's one thing Dynasty Warrior games are known for, it's really quite terrible writing for the most part.
The thing is, they would write like the most like over the top, like during the like this very specific history period in Japan, the following happened. It's like, oh my god, you're drowning me in the wrong details. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and nothing's bringing me around on Nintendo anytime soon.
Yeah, and it's one of these things where it's like, a lot of people thought, like, oh, Nintendo won E3, and
Said a Nintendo fanboy.
yeah, that was kind of my reaction. And coming out of,
like they said it every year.
coming off the Nintendo press conference, I was like, fucking yeah, they turned around, then like I literally had like an hour in which to think, and I'm like, all they showed off was Odyssey and a couple levels of Yoshi, and like, a Kirby game looks like every other Kirby game ever. I'm like, they didn't show shit. And they mocked the fact that, like, oh, you guys were mad about that Pokemon game. I'm like, they didn't do it. I'm like, they barely did their jobs.
Damn it, Reggie.
Reggie needs to learn some more words and be a little less.
That was a creepy heart-to-heart.
The Reggie heart-to-heart is a gimmick, I think, that as time has gone on, it is aging less and less well, and it's gone from, like, hey, I'm that cool dad character to... It's too self-aware, almost. Like, it's like, I know
meta.
you're gonna meme the shit out of this later. It's like, that means we're not gonna meme it now. Congrats.
Oh, that's how that it's a double meta because he's like, I don't want people to meme the shit out of me, so I'm gonna tell people that it's very memeable, and then no one does it. So he's like, good, nobody is. It's bad enough that people are walking up saying my body is ready. Like, he's just, he's self-aware that he doesn't want to get memed anymore. So I think that's why he's doing it.
Yeah. Any more Nintendo for any of you guys?
No, I'm good.
I don't think so. Like,
You can be Tingle in Breath of the Wild now. That was worth noting.
Yeah, that DLC is
Also-
weird. Like, it's
you can be what?
Tingle.
a Tingle outfit now in Breath of the
Oh,
Wild.
okay.
Like, some of the stuff they're adding to
Yay.
that game feels like it should have been in the game from the start, maybe.
That's like how most DLC feels like.
No, like an item lets you find the Super Kokiri or whatever, the Korok seeds way easier. Like, the item that, the thing that helps you expand your inventory in the game is hidden behind a scavenger hunt, essentially.
Yep.
I,
It's their gold Scatellas, so to
yeah.
speak. If I was to
like
make a
the
comparison.
Scatellas, though. That's the weird thing. I didn't mind them in that game.
That was actually pretty cool. The gold Scatellas
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, that was kind of cool.
This is
It
there's
also
like 200
incrementally
of them.
rewards you with
And,
the
like,
skull
it didn't
tools.
feel needed. It was just a nice little side thing for you to do
I
with the
think
gold
they did this
Scatellas.
too.
Yeah.
didn't
But the inventory space, it almost kind of feels like you need it sometimes.
Yeah, like, maybe that... I hope we can at some point this year, prior to Game of the Year stuff, have conversations about Breath of the Wild that aren't how super impressive it is, because I am of the weird opinion that game is only impressive because Nintendo made it. Like, that is an open world... Like, as much as I don't like Skyrim, that game didn't do a lot Skyrim didn't do already, and in some ways maybe a little bit better in some certain areas. And the fact that it's like, a lot of conversations about Breath of the Wild start with, well, if you ignore the stamina system, this game's amazing. It's like, no, that's a huge mechanic in this game. You can't just ignore the one part of this game you can take real issues with and really lock in on being a problem. Well, there's ways they fix it. The fact there are in-game ways to fix it means someone said, ooh, people aren't going to like this.
It's one of those like introduced grinds. Like in WoW, you had the attunement system.
Yeah.
That's what it kind of feels like in a way, like in a weird way, where like you know it's something you're gonna do eventually, but like we're just gonna make it work. Like as far not work as in it's gonna do something. It's just be like we're gonna give you busy work to do.
Yeah.
Oh god, I don't play games to do busy work.
Well,
play
that's
games
what
to
the,
get away from busy work.
That's what the stamina system.
I
Kind
know.
of feels
I know.
Like. You
That's
just-
what turned me off.
Hey,
to
you
the
can
game.
fix this by doing a lot of dungeons. Are they all great? Not all of them.
Like this dude's an adventure. How does he have a shitty fucking cardiovascular system? Why?
Dude, it's like playing a COPD character, like suffering from emphysema.
Yeah. Like is fucking Link a chain smoker? Like you need
I
to
used
work
to be
on
a
his
hero
issues?
time, sweetie.
Yeah, right?
Oh, is
Back
it
in my day, we didn't have swords break.
You know what used to not have the meter gauge on it? The Master Sword. Now it burns away like my cigarettes. Johnny, get me more cigarettes.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Yeah. So like, and like even with that, like, and I know this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, and I'm stating it now. Even though the stamina system sucks, I kind of like it. Like I like the
I
added.
have
little
nothing
thing to it.
against stamina systems. The fact that it's that bad and that much of a hindrance is my problem. Like the fact that it is,
Uh,
the fact that people will say if you ignore the system, it's
You,
like
don't you can't ignore.
the fact that you can't have a conversation with someone where it's like, well, the stamina system's bad. It's like, well, but the stamina system's really bad. There are better stamina systems out there. Like, if Link's leveled up in that game and the stamina, like, Shadow of the Colossus has a very similar stamina system to it, like almost identical in some ways. And the difference being with every Colossus you slay in that game, your stamina gauge goes up.
Guys, can I be honest?
Yeah?
I'm fucking exhausted. We can complain about the stamina system in
Yeah, it's fair.
a game that's
let's move on
already
to
out,
Sony. That's
not
fair.
on the
That's
E3
fair.
cast.
So, Sony.
I feel that was the strongest of all of them. Like, they did something. They showed games. They showed lots of
So
them,
did Microsoft, so
and
did
they
EA.
looked good.
But before we even jump any further, can I just talk about the irony of Jeff being exhausted about a stamina system? Like, the irony of that statement just isn't lost from me.
But bum.
So,
Hold on,
Sony.
Come on. I just want to...
So, Sony. Sony.
Destiny.
So they showed off Detroit.
that looked
It
good.
looks, which is a play on the that one like robot.
iRobot.
No, it's
Well, there's a
it's,
robot
It's a
that-
David Cage game.
Yeah, that there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
David Cage, the most realistic robot human.
It's hard to address this game without acknowledging the David Cage effect.
That's the issue. Like that game, David Cage's stuff looks super great at E3, and then you take it home and you go, "All right, this was made by David Cage." You guys have been lucky to have been spared so far of the David Cage effect, for the most part, but they're coming to Something Wicked Studios soon. Like, they're not bad games. There's just always some choices taken in them where it's like, right, this is made by the guy that had a full naked render of Ellen Page because reasons.
Yeah, that's I don't know.
It looks cool. Like it looks like the closest David Cage has made to a video game so far. Like that almost resembles a video game. But I remember David Cage made it, and then I go, so it's gotta be a bunch of QuickTime events, you say? Like, and to be fair, I give Telltale the same level of shit for this. The David Cage stuff is just always he tackles much bigger topics than Telltale does, and he doesn't always do a great job. Like, this is an important topic. It's politically charged. It's a variety of things, but it's kind of like Yui Bowl making a movie about the current state of America. He's not the right guy for the job.
Touche. Yes. Okay.
On a separate topic, Yui Bowl producing a documentary on America. You heard it here first. So Detroit looked pretty good. Detroit, as someone who is super down on David Cage, Detroit still looked cool. Like that game had.
You're impressed with the amount of
graphics
gameplay they
are
had.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
That's the one with that robot negotiator, right?
Yeah, last year was Robot
Yeah.
Negotiator. I get the impression. I think I heard that there's like 3 characters. Probably one's the Negotiator, one's this Revolutionary, and I don't know what the third one's
Yeah.
going to be. But so the big thing that came out is like the game Heavy Rain, which again had more gameplay than a typical David Cage joint does. These characters can die, and their story will end at that point. Like if you make the wrong decision, the narrative will continue past them, so long as you have other characters to play as still.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of a cool mechanic. Like I can dig that. I don't think I've ever played a David Cage game actually, but hearing about it, I'm intrigued.
Yes.
I will say.
Yeah.
David Cage is at worst intriguing.
See.
That's not true, actually. David Cage can be David Cage. As the Destiny fan here, I felt they may have showed exactly the right amount of Destiny. Like, that was all the Destiny I wanted to see out of all of E3. I wanted them to be like, here's the PS4 exclusive, and I go, okay, what strike am I getting? What Crucible map am I getting? What gun am I getting? Peace. You're gonna ship 2? Awesome. What's that gun? It's a sniper rifle. Okay, cool.
So
Suck it, Xbox people.
So wait, is PC getting that?
Oh, you don't know. The PC one comes out almost 2 months after the PS.
I heard about that. Yeah.
So it's kind of... No, that's PS4 exclusive.
Well, that makes things different now because I haven't reserved the game yet.
I have it for PS4. I'm probably playing on PS4. Like, there was a weird trend of people that, like, I follow a couple other, like, really hardcore, but not, like, Destiny streamers out there where they're like, yeah, I played at D3. it is weird playing that game with the controller if you've played like 1,000 hours of this game, because so much of it, like, that controller feel for that game is really good. It's like, yeah, maybe you can play controller on a PC and never play Crucible as a result.
Yeah, that's true. Because
Yeah, like it feels kind of weirdly like Counter-Strike on the PC, which isn't a bad thing, but there's this really nice rhythm and feel to Destiny, especially on the PS4, that does not exist with a mouse and keyboard.
see, that's gonna make it hard to decide where I'm gonna go then. Because, like I told you initially, I'm like, obviously I'm going like PC. That's my
Yeah.
route. But like after hearing all this, I'm like, do I? I mean, I'm gonna have a PS4, so
Yeah.
do I really want to jump on the?
I feel as though PS4 is probably it's where I wind up playing it. Like, and again, like, they showed exactly as much E3. They may have showed maybe slightly more Destiny than I wanted at E3. Like, they showed Gary's face, and I'm like, man, I don't want to know what that shit is yet. But no, take it back.
Undo.
Undo. I don't want to see this yet.
Do a stop it.
I want to go into this game not knowing shit. Like, I have a beta access coming up, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do
I mean,
that.
you wanted a teaser. You don't want a spoiler.
If they had like Luke Smith walk on stage and go, PS4 players get a sniper rifle, here's the name of the exclusive strike, we're throwing you in a cool looking ship, and here's the Crucible map, thank you, good night, and didn't show any of it, I'd have been like, they understand the mistake they made last time. Well played, Bungie, well played.
So you'll let Bungie and Sony get away with pulling a Nintendo, where they just tell you stuff and then show you nothing?
They've already shown me enough.
Yeah, but they've also
had that
proved
whole-
themselves
That's
before.
well, yeah.
Yeah,
but
I
like-
know what I'm
hey,
getting.
We're gonna
It's
say
more
something, and then we're
Destiny.
actually gonna
Yeah.
release it.
But see, that leads back to that whole loyalist to that thing.
No, and the difference is they showed off a ton of stuff like 3 weeks ago at that Destiny 2 event where I'm watching that going like, I don't want to know this much,
Yeah.
but I do now.
But yeah, like I'm excited for the new Destiny. I was telling you guys earlier, like I was trying so hard to get in on one of those appointments to demo it because they give you like a good like 30-minute block of
Yeah.
you just playing the game, and I could not.
Lines
And
are
then
long.
No, not even lines are long. It was that whole
Lines are
experience
impossible, yeah.
PlayStation thing where, which by the way, next year can you please come out with a better system, Sony?
It's
'Cause
not a
that
bad
was-
system if you use it right.
Well, no. Here's the thing: you have so many people at an expo, all trying to book it at the exact same time because
Yeah.
they do it like we're gonna open these things for available for you to RSVP at exactly 9 p.m. or 9 a.m. and then the other one is at exactly 1 p.m. That's how they did it all 3 days.
Last year you could do it the night before, so
No,
like they,
this was like only at 9 a.m. and then only at 1 p.m. So when you have all these phones in one area,
we talked about this already. Like
Yeah.
there was some growing pains with the extra people they brought in this
yeah,
year.
which I'm sure
No
we
one's
just-
denying that fact.
Yeah.
But so enough about Destiny because I'm the one that really cares about that to the level of I can go on. I know you care, but not in the same way that I'm sitting here going like
Charlie could go on
too
for a
much.
Charlie, I know Charlie has a big following on it because he's been a big part of the Destiny thing before. I'm new. What am I? A tater tot?
You're
or
taken tot.
Taken tot. I'm tater tot. Yeah, but
moving on from that though. What was that, Jeff?
Just laughing at the take and talk comment.
We're very
I'm a
specific
tater
about
tot.
yeah, I'm a tater tot. Yeah.
that outfit. You are.
I like it.
Dude, I am starting to blank out on those the other games now.
So, and that's what I was kind of get at. Like, they had Days Gone, which is a zombie game starring bikers, and as much as I love the bikers, I don't like the zombie stuff, and not a lot of stuff I heard about sounded super great, so...
That game seemed to bring a few like cool and interesting things to the table, and I almost feel bad that I don't care.
Yeah, it's got a resounding level of... Like, that biking stuff is kind of cool. Just an apocalypse game featuring motorcycles, I could be down for, but the moment you throw zombie swarms in there, I go, no!
and then,
It's a post-apocalypse where society didn't completely collapse. It sprung up again.
Yep.
And they also added, multiple ways to solve problems through either, environmental kills and shit like that. And it's like, I just am not interested. Main character got clotheslined and he managed to defeat two guys who had windups that had 10-minute loading animations.
Yeah.
That neither of them happen to have a knife. If you have the rope to fucking clothesline a motherfucker, and you're 2v1, I don't care how good your main character plot armor is, you're dead. Pick up a fucking wrench and beat this guy over the skull. What are you doing in a fair fight? Like, ugh.
You sound a tad
And I feel
salty there.
bad.
No, like
What?
it's been shown 2 years in a row, and it's like, yeah, we made a zombie game.
Get in line, take a number.
Yeah, the new Uncharted looks cool. It looks like more
It
Uncharted.
does. It looks like more Uncharted. Chloe is a bigger dick than ever, very clearly.
Uncharted doing Uncharted.
Chloe,
things.
it's gonna be interesting because Chloe, although she did bad things, her heart was always in the right place, and she always like came up big when you needed her. In this one, it's very much like you were supposed to have my back, and you dicked me over for money. You'd have done the same thing. It's
Well,
like,
so
is that her character?
From the angle
guess
I'm
it kind
digging
of
it,
is.
it's like the previous Uncharted have always shied away from Nathan Drake, mass murderer. This game seems to
Yep.
be like, no, these characters are terrible people, actually.
Yeah, a little. I feel like I'm gonna walk away from this game going, man, I feel so bad for Nadine.
Apparently,
Got dicked over 2 games in a row.
no, apparently some of the story, like, apparently Nadine's just a badass in this one, which I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. I'm
I
down
know, but
with
she
Nadine
gets dicked
being
over
cool.
by Drake. She gets dicked over by Chloe, and in theory, she gets dicked over by what's his face, the villain from 4.
Yeah,
Nadine just gets the short end of the stick.
yeah. Yeah, not much to say on that. Like, I'm not sure I want more Uncharted, but I'll take this Uncharted. I don't want any more Uncharted after this Uncharted.
So you're,
Fair.
you're not at your limit, but you're almost there.
I'm not sure I want Uncharted after 4, but I'm at this time I'm like, this is different enough that I'm intrigued, but also I think I'm done for a little while after this. Like the formula needs to either change more meaningfully, or I just need some time from it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's not you, it's me.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, the next one, I'm gonna steer this conversation a little bit because the 2 games I want to end on for this Sony conversation. But the next one, I guess the game that kind of jumped out at me was A Plague Tale: Innocence, or however they want to call themselves, which basically looks like someone looked at the rat mechanic from Dishonored 1, was like, what if we built an entire game around that?
Do you remember?
how
that?
did I not see this?
Yeah, I don't
Did I
remember
miss it?
that. Am I missing something?
Oh,
I don't
No,
remember
it's
too
one
much
of the
from
things
the
I
Sony
saw.
conference.
Yeah, but I
Literally
definitely
the-
don't remember. I would have remembered that.
That may have been after the fact. I don't think that was part of the
I was
press
thinking
conference.
Moss was one.
the
but then-
world is literally covered in rats.
That was not
and
shown.
if
No,
you
no,
ha-
we would
I
definitely.
would have been like,
remember
holy
that.
shit, that world's covered in rats.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is a game that's out there. I saw it. There's a trailer somewhere coming to some time, I guess. And the mechanic basically is if you're in the light, the rats don't attack you. So the 2 main characters see this like one guard who's walking around with a lantern, and they fucking use a grappling hook, swing it, and break his lantern, and he gets fucking mauled by rats, and they
That
use
sounds
that
like a
as the way to get
cool-ass
past
game.
him. So,
Yeah,
Plague Tale. Charlie should look it up.
yeah, that sounds metal as hell.
Yeah. And the 2 games I want to end on are KH3 and Dad of the Year. So, are there any other Sony games you guys want to talk about?
Cage 3?
KH.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's worth saying. Horizon Zero Dawn's getting DLC. It looks cool.
Oh, yeah.
I'm down for more Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, definitely
That
the.
game's pretty good.
I'm actually more excited for this one than I am after like the original game because this one has the ability to expand on some of the stuff that like some of the things I didn't like in the game. This one has the ability to avoid like
Yeah.
audio logs that are literally on top of each other and 10 minutes long, and you find the next one within 5 seconds, and it stops what you're listening to and jumps to the next one.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff is probably just gonna be done away with, which is nice.
The pitch that sold me was new area, new beasts, and I'm like, that's all you have to say for me to care about Horizon Zero Dawn DLC.
Something bigger than a thunder jaw.
Yeah. Can I get 2 Thunder Jaws like taped together, called a Thunder Maw? Because I'd be down on that.
Yep.
You want to say your piece on Kingdom Hearts? I suspect you have a
Yeah.
some
I am
thoughts.
super fucking stoked for this next Kingdom Hearts 3, and the fucking ending of that is so good. Because it's basically like if you were to take the Star Wars series, and if in like the very end of Star Wars, someone turned to Luke and said, you have to join the dark side in order to defeat your next villain.
You gonna use that Force Lightning?
Yeah, is basically how the game ends. I'm like, oh my god, this
So
game's
this
gonna
was-
go some fucking places, and I'm stoked.
Despite not being the Kingdom Hearts fan you are, this was hinted at way back at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, the implication was the universe was pretty out of balance at that point, and it was now time for kind of the villains to rise up some to restore that balance. Like, it's like, no, you have all this light, there has to be darkness to offset it, and the next game is
Yep.
Villains Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. The game's very much got the yin-yang thing going on. Additionally, it's always got two different style villains running around, where you have the actual Disney villains and the invented villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And although they work together, they're never strictly in the same group, and often they're more than willing to backstab each other. So they're kind of got a bit of a whack-a-mole thing that if you beat one of them down, the other one's just going to spring up in its
Sure, yeah.
absence. They take over each other's kingdoms when they're not looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So because of that, it's very easy in that series to believe that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So.
the trailer for that looked cool.
Yeah,
It
so
was
I
one of
was
these things
happy
where I'm like,
that-
I bet Jeff cares about this. This
Oh,
is
yeah, Jeff cared.
pretty.
There's also very much just the moment of like put up or shut up, because the last thing they told us about Kingdom Hearts 3 was what, 2015? Maybe
Sounds
even
about right.
further back.
Yeah.
There was
14
no
maybe?
release date as part of that trailer.
Yeah, it's still no
Yeah.
release date.
Still no release date, but at least they showed some progress on the game, because before it was just, here is Kingdom Hearts but pretty, and
Yeah.
now it's like, here's Kingdom Hearts, oh, we added a shit ton of weapons and some mechanics and new magic and shit. Like, we're
Yeah.
actually adding things to the game. We're showing progress and not stagnancy.
Yeah.
They're not Metroid priming it.
They showed something. Like, for better or worse,
Yeah.
like, even if they fake that trailer, they put enough effort into it. It's like, no, this is a thing we're shooting for at least. It's not like, hey, here's a number floating in space.
Yeah.
Yep. And
Like-
then, or go ahead.
Like, if it'd just been like a candle that made a shadow of a key, and when like someone whispered, Keyblade, that would have been bullshit. But no, like, hey, here's the combat trailer.
Yeah. So I was like, Sora, the power is always inside you. No fucking kidding.
Yeah. We know. Show us the power.
I'm gonna murder fools now.
Yeah.
Uh,
But the last game I wanted to end on is fucking Dad of the Year edition. Goddamn God of War 4. That one moment that was the oh shit moment for me is when he's in the fucking treasure room and he looks at the one vase and it's very clearly an image of
Yup.
fucking Kratos from the previous
I
three
saw
fucking
that
games.
too, and I'm like, oh shit, it's not a reboot, it's a continuation.
yep.
Yep. And everything Charlie said about the game creator wanting to do this, like, and what if Kratos just started screwing with other gods? Like, from other mythos' thing is
Also,
apparently just
there's also this
tracking.
fantastic line that you may not have grasped the importance of it. They have some just Viking dude being like, "Oh, you people always thinking you're so much better than us with your so superior with your intellects." Like, it's like one of these things where I'm like, "Oh shit, this is the Viking view on the Greeks." Like, this
Yeah.
is just them being like, "Oh, you're in the land of the fucking Norse gods now. We do not like you here. You've been trying to kill us off for centuries."
It looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I am a little
yeah.
concerned / interested in previous God of War games. There have been plenty of moments of Kratos, have you ever considered not being such a dick? And he just looks him dead in the eye and goes, "No, I have never considered that, and I never will. As a matter of fact, I'm going to cut your throat just to ensure and enforce this idea." And the kid's very much like, "Well, what if we ask them for help?" No, I carve help out of their throat when I'm done with them. I am Kratos, the, hey, that guy was helping me. Oh, looks like he got mangled in the equipment. Guess
Looks like
that's
he's
one less
XP
problem
now."
for me. Yeah, it looks like you're just HP. Like, it is hard to describe just how big of a dick Kratos is.
No, that's the thing that they gave him. Like, it's weird. He's mellowed, but he's mellowed in a way that makes sense. That they have enough little throwaway lines in that trailer where it's Kratos being like, "We're going on a long journey. To survive this, you'll have to seal your heart. Things will get
Yep.
bloody and brutal." I'm like, no, that's Kratos. Like, he's like, this is Kratos post his purpose. It's like, holy shit, I'm still alive. what do I do now?
Yeah, it's post-retirement. You know, his coworkers cut him up a cake. He packed up his cubicle.
Yeah, he's like-
gone home, and he's just
He killed
old man.
Gaia. He already
sick of
destroyed
everyone's
the Earth.
shit. Like, yeah,
Yeah, he's 6 months in. He's like, man, I used to have so much fun at work. Maybe I should go back. And then they're like, you go kill some Norse gods. He's like, I don't know. That could be cool.
Yeah.
Give him something to do.
It's exactly
I
what
do
it is.
want
He's
to
just out of
see-
retirement because he's just, and he's always just been sick of everybody's shit anyway. And it just shows up even more and like, nah.
Cranky old man Kratos.
He's a cranky old man, just turned up to fucking 11.
All right.
I do really want to see later in the game there be a moment where the kid's like, maybe, or how could you hurt that person? They were helping us. They are a tool to my success.
Yeah.
Like, I want him to have that, like, speech with the kid at one point where, like, I used him, and it got me through what I needed. That is beginning, middle, and end of this discussion.
So
He just falls back on his old, like, ways.
I think you'll get that because there's that very specific sequence where they're climbing that wall and that monster lunges forward and Kratos pins it
stabbed.
and the kid then stabs it in the face. I'm like, oh, you are Kratos' ward at least. You understand how this shit works.
You don't ask, you stab first, ask questions while stabbing.
Yep.
Well, this is just a crazy idea thing, but I would love to like see at one point they progress time to the point where those two have to battle it out.
So
That could happen.
if I was a gambling man, I would assume it probably takes like at least
3
2 or
games.
3 games for Kratos to kill all the Norse gods. Kind of like it took him 2 or 3 games to kill all them Greek gods, and
Yeah. He started killing them at an exponential rate, though.
Yeah,
Pretty soon we'll have the Egyptians.
Going after Egypt next.
yeah, he's gonna
Oh,
run into
that'd
the
be
fucking
fucking
Assassin's
baller.
Creed guy over there.
Oh, shit, I almost
please
forgot.
let that happen.
The one
Please
game I
let
didn't
that
mention.
happen.
They're
I look
also-
forward to
they're
God of War
redoing,
Pangea
Shadows
as
of
well.
Colossus.
We're going way back.
We're going to go after monotheism here now.
Well, that's maybe you don't know this. That's the subplot of God of War. That's why monotheism exists. Because Kratos kills all of the gods, and only one thing is left.
So-
That is literally the plot of God of War.
So Kratos is Jesus? Monotheism?
Sure.
I remember Jesus committing
All
deicide.
Yeah, no, like
That
the
must be the
original
old-
pitch for
old-
God of
Old
War
Testament.
was Kratos kills all of the other gods that exist, thus clearing the way for the modern era of gods.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or modern era of God, not
Yeah.
multiple.
Or theology, if you want to just be general about it.
Yeah.
Theology, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Overall, what you guys think of the Sony one? Like, the opening number with the music was kind of cool.
liked
The people hanging from the ceiling, that was dumb, but that fire,
Oh, that was a zombie
Yeah.
game, yeah.
Thank you, Sony, for no cringe this year. Appreciate it.
Yeah. No?
So, other than that, I mean, it sounds solid. I kind of wish there were. Obviously, there's it's super tight-lipped about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
You know, but
They're not tight-lipped. They're almost denying it exists. They're like, look at these conspiracy documents we have.
it's the Area 51 of games right now. It's just
Kind
like,
of.
Everyone, there's a small factor of people who know the government has aliens, aka has Kingdom Hearts 3, but a lot of us are kind of like, it's not really
Maybe
gonna
Kingdom
happen.
Hearts never existed. Maybe there were never any Kingdom Hearts games. Maybe it was a weather balloon simulator. There's a lot of floating in Kingdom Hearts, like a weather balloon.
Number one rule of working in the department that develops Kingdom Hearts: we don't talk.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
It's basically Fight Club over at Square Enix.
we don't talk about Kingdom Hearts.
When you drive by their building in Inglewood, it's that area that's all blacked out.
Oh yeah, there you go.
The Kingdom Hearts floor.
Yeah, it's just like all the windows are all black.
Alright, so any more thoughts on Sony before we kind of enter our closing it out?
Nope.
Alright, let's close this sucker out. So, do we think anyone actually won E3 this year? As dumb a question as that is, I actually think no one did. Like, if anyone won, it's Anthem. Not EA, Anthem. Because that's the thing where I'm like, I want to see more. Everything
That's
else
probably
is-
like the. You could
It's
summarize
weird
it
to
in the
announce
games.
a winner when they're going halvesies on who gets to announce exclusivity on a game, where you have multiple people announcing Forza, multiple people announcing Anthem, multiple people announcing Assassin's Creed. It's
Yeah.
like,
No, and that's my exact
who got
point.
the
like,
better, or Sony got the better Forza trailer,
No, they
out of the
didn't.
two.
Sony doesn't do Forza.
So doesn't do Forza.
That's an Xbox exclusive.
Then I go. Or,
That's an actual Xbox exclusive.
Only one.
whichever one. Fucking whichever one, whoever got the one that's like it's a sport was better than the other one that they released. Like it's so
Gran
weird
Turismo?
when they're going halvesies on shit.
Yeah, and there was a lot of cross-pollination this year, which I guess if someone wins in my book, it's Sony, because at least all of their stuff they showed was, for the most part, you have to own a PS4 for this.
Yeah. They had the better previews, they had the better selection of games.
Like, most of Microsoft's press conference was
Xbox One X
coming to the PC as well, and the biggest part of Microsoft's press
Teraflops.
conference was Anthem, and that's like, it's coming to everything, and like, on one hand, maybe Nintendo should win it by that argument, but Nintendo also kind of was like, I don't know, like, it's Mario's super cool looking, but does one game win you does one game win you E3? Maybe, but
Well, if everyone has that one game.
So if it's
then,
just
then
win
it's Anthem, because I
E3
think Anthem's
Yeah.
way cooler than Mario.
If it's just win E3 on a pure entertainment aspect on things I require E3 to present me, which is just the trailers, not the games themselves, because E3
Yeah.
doesn't get you the game, it just gets you a trailer. I'd have to give it to Bethesda because watching Nazis order
No, you're right.
strawberry
That
Yes.
trailer at the
milkshakes.
end is pretty goddamn
That
good.
is-
Like,
that is the most memorable thing I walk away
the
from.
winners of E3,
Yeah.
I think, are
Strawberry.
Wolfenstein, Anthem, and Super Mario Odyssey. That's who won E3, not
'Cause
the
that's
people
what
that presented.
those are the ones I'd go back and rewatch the trailers of. I mean, that and Kingdom Hearts, but that's me.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Bethesda as a whole won the con because they honey dipped
No.
a bunch of their fans with recycled shit,
Okay, yeah.
and they got away with it.
They won the con job.
Bottled water.
They
got-
tricked you into thinking
Yep.
that you needed a press conference.
So they gave you a pretty press conference, and all you got was, hey, even more Skyrim, and then they did actually throw in something which was good, which was the Wolfenstein stuff, which was
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
And to this day, like, even though it's only been like a few days since, I still think about that Wolfenstein trailer because it was
Yeah.
so good.
You sit up
Oh
at
yeah,
night
yeah.
and
I
go,
like
that
at 2 a.m.
Nazi.
Be like, is it out yet? Oh no.
Yeah.
go
So
back.
like I think like, and it's gonna be like a weird ass opinion, but Bethesda got away with it because they spent the
That-
least amount of
that
actual work
finish.
possible and honey dicked a bunch of people.
Yeah. I think while we may not be able to agree on who won E3,
But those like the games we
We all
listed
agree on
earlier-
yes,
the games,
there are
the
three
highlighted
incredibly
games.
strong games. I think it's much easier to say who lost E3. And it's not any of the developers or publishers or console manufacturers.
It's the public.
It's the people that paid to be there.
I paid $200 to sit in line for
And be
80% of the
marked
day.
by society with piss yellow.
Yeah.
I think that's actually pretty. Yeah. Although I would like to add Dragon Ball Z because I really did enjoy that game.
Yeah,
As a winner, like that was a
there
solid
was
one.
some strong showings this year.
Yeah, but
the issue was not no one group
No one
distinguished
person
themselves.
had 'em.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
It was a good diversity of talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. So it's that one guy in your group project who did really well.
Yeah, and the entire class as a result did real bad.
Yeah. So I think the games we
We're
listed
grading on
off,
a bell
like, yeah,
curve,
like
yeah.
I totally agree on Anthem, Wolfenstein, of course. I am adding in Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah, Dragon Ball was cool. It's
Mario Odyssey,
yeah.
and of course Kingdom Hearts 3. Even though it was that.
I
show,
don't count Kingdom Hearts 3 because I don't have faith that game will come out soon.
Well, you know, Jeff and I are
Yes,
on the bandwagon.
I
now.
want
You also
to
didn't have
believe
faith
for
that
you
they would even
people.
show anything this year, but they did.
Yeah.
And they showed something last year too.
12 years
No, they
from now, they're
didn't.
going to still be like,
They showed a trailer
They're-
saying we're still totally making this.
it's still
Yeah.
being
No,
done.
they didn't. They literally hasn't been any content since the like 2013 trailer.
Oh, I
Like
thought
that's
there
its
was something
defining
last
mark.
year.
No, there wasn't.
No.
It's been tight-lipped.
Fair,
But
no.
yeah, other than that, like that's yeah, I think we can agree that it's the individual games that won and
And the public that lost.
the public who paid
Public that lost.
the public with piss yellow badges are the ones who fucking lost.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So maybe you guys shouldn't be there next year. Not to be a dick, but like
sit at home and watch.
Well,
And I've had people say that they've enjoyed the experience much more at home
yes.
than they have at E3.
As someone who's attended the last two E3s and then got to not go to E3 this year, you know what was kind of awesome? Not being at E3,
but still getting to see all the shit that happened.
but still getting to see all the shit that happened. Yeah, I
So And it's not a knock on the public. I'm not.
Oh no, the public is the worst, but they're not at fault
I'm
here.
not knocking them on it because, like, as a fan of video games, like, I went to E3 my first time thinking it was gonna be like this big old like con thing, and it wasn't. And I know moving forward, so like, if I'm gonna continue to be a fan of E3 and doing that stuff, I'm gonna go, but I know what I'm getting into.
Yes,
like,
I think
It's just you
this
need to
was
tune
a
your expectations.
Yeah,
down.
like,
this was a learning experience for many.
yeah. If you're going to E3 thinking it's gonna be Comic-Con, you're in for a fucking wake up call.
Yes.
Yeah,
So, any last great words on E3 2017?
I think that was
I think it was a good one.
a
Yeah.
pretty solid one. Yeah.
I think that like the gaming lull, like the absolute trough of shit that we've been through for the last like bunch of years, like it's gonna go down as like the dark age of gaming. We're finally pulling out of it.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I've got some stuff I'm looking forward to.
Yeah. I mean, this year in video games in general has been pretty solid. I mean, a couple months ago we had so many good titles released out anyway, so
Yeah.
it's looking like it's going to be a good age of games coming up in the near future.
Yeah.
Yay.
Some might say there's never been a better time to be a gamer. That same person, which is me, would also say there's never a worse time to have paid to have attended a video game conference.
Paradoxes
You know,
of life.
You know, times may change, but we'll always have Skyrim.
You're just fired now. Just fired. All of you, get out of my apartment. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like or a comment down below. If you really liked our video, why don't you give us a subscribe? You can do that by clicking on the subscribe button down below or the skull icon over on the right. If you're curious about our other videos, we have a ton to pick from. You can go and browse the various uploads we have, or you can click on the 2 videos to the left here. One will take you to our most recent upload, whatever that is at this point in time, and the other one will take you to one YouTube thinks you'll enjoy the most out of our stuff.